from someone who's speaking to you after you've been dumped, and they'll say something like, well, you know, if you love someone and you let them go and they come back to you, then they were really yours. If they don't come back, then they never were really yours. Something like that. That's the full saying. There's variations of it, obviously, because again, we're not talking about scripture here. But the idea is that if you just set them free and they come back, then you know that they were really yours. Well, first of all, what does it mean to let someone go? Many of you probably expect me to jump all over this because so many of my videos talk about no contact. As a matter of fact, I'll provide a link in the description below to my video on the no contact rule, and I talk about what your ex is thinking during no contact in one of my videos and how to make your ex miss you by giving them your absence. And so a lot of people have even said in comments on my YouTube videos and on coaching calls, they'll say, right, yeah, because if you love someone, you'll let them go. It really depends on what you mean by let them go. A lot of the commenters on my YouTube videos will actually say things like, an ex is an ex for a reason. Why would you want them back? And they're saying this in some ways to discourage people who are trying to get their ex back. And they're probably well-intentioned in that they don't want these people to have all this hope only to be crushed. And if that's you out there, you're one of those people who comments on my video, an ex is an ex for a reason, or acts like you're just completely stunned that anyone would ever want an ex back, and you say something like, why would you want an ex back? It's okay. You're welcome to make those comments. But here's my stance on it. If you were in just a casual relationship with someone where you don't have history, at least a great deal of history, where you don't feel that you have an emotional connection with them, where you don't have a feeling of family with them, then letting them go is probably something that's easy for you. If you've only been dating for a couple of months and are just kind of seeing where it might go, as some people say, then sure, it's probably easy for you to just say, I'll let them go, and if they come back, great. If not, that's fine too. And some people choose to live their life only having relationships at that shallow level. And I'm not saying that to get on to you or to suggest you should do otherwise. It's your business if you want to only have relationships that are casual, that don't have strong emotional connection, and that you can walk away from fairly easily. Some people who've been hurt by being emotionally connected to someone in the past might have that attitude, that intention, and that fear of being in an emotionally connected relationship. And that makes sense to me. I understand. Though I'm sorry for your hurt, that does make sense. And I'm not trying to change your mind in this video. But most of the people who come to my YouTube channel, who watch my videos and go to myexbackcoach.com and who get my emergency breakup kit. And you can get more information on my emergency breakup kit with the link in the description below, or simply by going to myexbackcoach.com. But the person, the average person who's watching this video or who's watching my videos on YouTube is in a connected relationship with this person. And so it's not easy for them to just walk away, to just let them go. It's not just a switch that can be flicked off like that. And you might say, well, that's why you don't get in those type of relationships. Again, that's totally your business if you want to live your life like that. But the human emotional psyche, the human emotional condition has the ability and the capacity to make a connection like that and to feel and to be in a connection like that. And so for a lot of people, it's not as simple as just throwing your hands up and saying, ah, well, if you really love this person, and especially if you're in a serious relationship, a committed long-term relationship, especially like marriage, it's not as simple as just saying, ah, well, and letting them walk away and letting them go. In fact, in marriage, you've taken a vow for better or worse, which I think that if you're in the situation, you would agree with me that it's worse when they are wondering or doubting if they want to be with you. And so if you're committed to this person, even when things are not good, that could entail, and for most people does entail, when they think that they might not even want to be with you. I have a close friend whose wife was in a vehicle accident, and it actually gave her amnesia, did some brain damage, and she didn't remember him or their daughters for a while. And when she finally began to get back some of those memories, she had such emotional distance from him and from their children and from other family. At first, she didn't even know who he was. And so she began to feel this emotional distance from him right away. Like, who is this stranger? And eventually, as she got some of her memories back, she didn't quite get her emotional memory back. And she did not want to be with him. Should he have just said, ah, well, and let her go? Even though that they have children together, they had a life together? In this case, this would probably go down under the in sickness and in health part of the vow that people take when they get married. As human beings, we make terrible mistakes sometimes. And I would even say that if it's just easy for you to let someone go, then you probably didn't love them to begin with, and you probably weren't theirs in the first place. So don't feel bad if you're having trouble letting go. And if people who aren't in your situation and probably are choosing to forget when they were in your situation or something similar in the past, say to you, you just need to let them go. And if they come back, they were really yours. As though you can just turn it off like that. I'm not that unrealistic. I get it. I've been there. I've talked to thousands of people who have been there. I've worked 20 years in the relationship recovery service. Of all people, I get it. And so you don't have to make excuses or feel guilty or that there's something wrong with you simply because you want to see if this relationship can work or not, if you can save the thing. I get it. Now, since you've probably watched other videos of mine, and if you haven't, you can subscribe with the button below and you'll be notified when I have new videos, and it will be easier for you to see other videos that I have. They're listed on my channel. I talk about the no contact rule. I also say that you shouldn't beg and plead and try to talk this person into coming back to you. That being said, there needs to be some pushback. They need to know your position. There's several reasons for that. First of all, if they know your position, it allows them to think about the situation differently. Because first of all, if they think that you can just move on from them, it can actually lower attraction at the start. Now listen very carefully. What I mean is that if they break up with you and you two are seated, you're having coffee, whatever, and they say, I think we should break up. Terrible words to hear, but you've just heard them. What I'm saying is at that moment is when you
then you at least have somebody who's willing to talk.
You can give some pushback, and you should. Telling them, I want to work on this. I think we're great together. I think we can have a future together. But at the same time, you give them the breakup. Now, a lot of you maybe didn't do that. It's already happened, and you're thinking, well, I can't go back in time and do that. Well, that's when, if you have made those mistakes like begging and pleading, they get it. They understand you want the relationship to work. You don't have to convince them of that. They already know that. So you're actually in a decent spot to go into no contact. A lot of people say, well, can I go into no contact if I've been begging and pleading? If I've already made those mistakes, can I go into no contact? Well, you don't really have any other choice, because if you keep doing what you've been doing, or if you keep talking to them, they're going to assume that you're about to start doing that, and they're going to be reminded that you did. But they already know you want the relationship to work. So now you respect their decision and you give them your absence for a time, sometimes permanently, if it doesn't work out. But a lot of times people will go a couple of months or 3 months. They hear from this person. Matter of fact, usually it's much sooner than that. This has a really good success rate because you let the other person actually experience the consequences of the breakup. And in that way, you're not letting them go. Your attitude is not just, oh, well, if they come back, they were really mine. And if they don't come back, they weren't really mine. Because in a lot of ways, it sounds like you weren't really theirs, or at least you weren't really committed to them. You see, no contact. And the strategies that I talk about, like radio silence, that I get into in great detail in my emergency breakup kit, which really just gives you a streamlined, focused guide that's extremely powerful and effective in getting your ex back. You can get it at the link below or at myexbackcoach.com. And it's not letting them go. It might look like you're doing nothing, and you are for a time, but it's by choice. It comes from a place of maturity. An example that I give in another video is if someone went to their room, like a roommate or maybe a family member when you're growing up, or if it's your spouse, and they close the door, and you go to the door and it's locked, and you knock on it and you say, hey, you want to talk? Is there something wrong? And they say, I just want some space right now. If you go outside and go around to the window and break in the window, do you think that they're going to say, wow, that was really clever of you to find another way to get in, let's talk? No, they're probably going to think that you're out of touch and creepy, because the desire that they showed was that they'd have some space, that they'd be alone, they'd be away from you at the time. That's why they closed the door. So finding another way in, which a lot of times people will ask, what do I do if my significant other, my spouse, my boyfriend, my girlfriend blocks me? Well, the first answer is you don't try to contact them another way, because their intention is clear by blocking you that they don't want to talk to you right now. So
no, they're stupid.
It's really just being immature and disrespectful. Disrespectful not just
I'm
to them,
toxic,
but to yourself as well. But giving them that
you.
space, letting them experience the consequences by your absence, and letting them miss you and see what the breakup is really like, is actually strategic. You are doing something. It's not passive. It's like the great boxer Ali. Does anyone remember the rope-a-dope? You might not, and if you're not in sports and boxing, you probably don't. But it would look like the other guy was winning round after round as Ali stood in there and took punch after punch after punch. He called it his rope-a-dope because he would wear the other person out. And whereas it looked like Ali had been losing the whole time, now this other person was too tired to punch, and Ali was pretty fresh. So he would be punching a tired man, and he would end up the winner. It looked like he was losing. It looked like he was doing nothing, but it was intentional. That's no contact. Now, obviously, that story collapses because we're not trying to exhaust our ex so we can beat them up. If that's the case, you are probably watching the wrong video. But what you are doing is you do want them to become exhausted of your absence. You want them to miss you. You want them to be disappointed that they're not hearing from you. I have a video called Trust No Contact. I have another one that's called Why No Contact Works. And those principles are in there. And so while your attitude should not be that you'll just let them go, and if they come back to you, they were really yours, that's what it might look like. But that's really not what's happening, because sometimes you have to make an effort, especially if there were some things that weren't going well in your relationship and they're your fault. I'm not suggesting you break no contact to tell this person that you will work on these things, because what actually happens is no contact causes attraction to increase, because your value goes up. You're not an easily accessible commodity anymore because they're not hearing from you. And if
this is
you
so
two are
stupid.
talking, they're initiating contact, but you're not initiating.
This
that
is
will
so
actually do much of
stupid.
the same thing. And so first you must raise attraction before this other person will probably be interested in working on it. But a lot of people ask me, you know, can it ever be the same if we broke up? Does that mean we're just doomed as a couple, that it won't work and I should just go find somebody else? Well, if the issues are bad enough, if there's a lot of fighting, if this person shows extreme immaturity and even narcissism, which is actually much more of an unusual and rare thing than people seem to think nowadays, but if that's what you think of this person, you probably would be better off. But if these issues can be worked out, oftentimes a relationship is even stronger because you have learned the hard way. And so many times when you learn a lesson the hard way, you learn it better and it sticks and has staying power. And when someone has to be away from you and realizes how much they miss you and love you and want you in their life, that is extremely valuable. And couples in that situation who get back together usually are together much longer than couples who didn't have to experience that, or where no contact is not used and they were not allowed to learn that lesson. Some of the best relationships come from difficulty, and they have to work on it. And then what happens when you work for something? When you earn it, has more value to you, it means more to you. And people will say, well, it should just click. How many relationships in life has it just clicked forever and you never had downs, you never had arguments? It's pretty unusual. As a matter of fact, the more you're around someone, you begin to be annoyed by them more. The little things that were cute early on now are not so much. So it happens. And if you are of the opinion that being in a relationship means you don't ever have to work on it in order for it to be any good, or that it has to have such a connection that you never ever have to work on it, I'm sorry, but you're in the land of fairy tales and pixie dust. So if you love someone, give it a fighting chance. I'm not suggesting you let them go. I'm suggesting you let them experience your absence in order to reattract them. And so the saying, if you love someone, let them go, and if they come back, then they were really yours, and if they don't, then they never were. This phrase, really yours, I'm not really even sure what that means, because relationships will have difficulty. At some point, though, obviously, you must give them up. If it's just not going to work,
nothing makes sense, I swear.
They are not willing to work, and they leave you. I'm not talking about hanging on forever, but I am saying that what you do may look like letting go, but it's really strategic, it's respectful, it's intended to give this other person a picture of what life without you looks like, and to encourage them to want to work on this. It also shows them that you are a good listener, because you're not trying to force your way into their life when they're saying, I don't want you here at the moment. It shows maturity, because I'm not suggesting you give them the silent treatment and be bitter and cold if they reach out. I'm suggesting you give them the space and time to think, to reflect, to figure this out. It also shows them that you're strong, that you believe in yourself and you believe in the relationship, that you don't have to try to beg or force. I could continue on about the power of the no contact rule, and that it looks like you're letting go when you're not. Click the subscribe button below, because I do talk about it a lot, and I have other videos on relationships. But the bottom line is that if you love someone, I believe in fighting for them. But you have to do that in a way that reattracts them, that respects yourself, that respects them, that shows maturity, and that actually works. And there's always anecdotal evidence where someone says that they did this and it didn't work, or that it won't work, and I usually will ask, what study are you basing this on? How many relationships have you seen? How many breakups have you seen? Because they're not going to be able to say that they've seen thousands, so trust it. That's a difficult thing to do, but trust that your absence, this person, if they do love you deep down, and they can figure that out, and they can see a future with you as possible, your absence will cause them to want to get you back and come back to you. And the tables turn so that this panic that you're feeling and this fear of loss, which is really a lot of fuel right now, can actually start happening inside of them and pull them back to you. Please click the subscribe button below. Please click the like button below if this video has been valuable to you. This has been Coach.
And this bullshit only works with healthy people, not with mentally retarded people like myself. So fuck you, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just a mess today. Okay. Let's play the game. I was so close to having a panic attack today, dude. But I'm controlling it really good for the last 5 times.
Oh, for Lord's sake, put that book away and go help.
Okay, let's see what's going on here.
So, we getting out of this hellhole?
We're gonna try. Weather seems stable.
And we just robbed the Leviticus Cornwall train.
We got money in our pockets. The worst is behind us, gentlemen. So the question is, where now?
I know this country a little. I told you, we should set up camp in Horseshoe Overlook near Valentine.
Look at the
We'll be
graphic.
able to
It looks
hide
so
up there,
good.
No problem, as long as we keep our noses clean.
Well, then let's go. Clean noses and everything else. Arthur, you're in that one. Bring Hosea. I know you two like to talk about the good old days and what's gone wrong with old Dutch.
Up and go do your job.
So we got money now. We robbed the train. Oh wait. Yo, yesterday it crashed here, the same spot. Now again. What is this? Are we crashing? It is crashing. Okay. At the same spot? Why? Let's wait. I'm gonna Google on my phone, so I'm not interrupting whatever is going on here. So many people say very bad on PC, a lot of crashes on PC. Hmm. In launch options in Steam, try ignore pipeline cache. What is that? Make sure you're not overclocking your PC. RIP. Disable full screen optimization. How do I do that? What is full screen optimization? What the fuck? Oh, okay, what? So the game is running very smooth, zero problems, and then the cutscene yesterday at the exact same spot, it crashed. And click display tab. Advanced display settings. Somehow my brain says just try again. Because if it's the same cutscene, then it has something to do with the cutscene, no? And clear shader. Let me try. Oh god. Oh man, every time there is something stupid. How do I do this now? And I'm gonna activate the auto flush RAM. And we're gonna have to buy more RAM, I suppose. I have insane RAM, but I need more for work anyways. Because I need like 30 Chrome tabs at once. Okay, let's just try again, like the same thing. My neck is killing me. I'm gonna wait a little bit more. Then I can take another Ewu. I'm full of drugs, dude. My doodle. I'm gonna have to take e-boost for every day for 2 weeks now, she said. And then everything should be good. To reduce inflammation and pain, but I'm gonna be a zombie. Whatever.
Oh, for Lord's sake! Put that book away and go help!
Okay, let's skip this.
Terry Beth.
So this is the scene. Here it comes. Oh, I just skipped the scene now. Fuck. Shit. Oh no. I mean, that's one way to avoid the crash. But I needed to see if it crashes again. Fuck. Well, it's fine. There's gonna be another scene to crash. Wow, look at the graphics,
Why
man.
are we so far behind?
Oh my god, this is beautiful, dude.
Yep.
Hey, watch out for the rock. Get us out the stream.
And zero lag, and I'm streaming to all these platforms. My PC is so good, dude.
Okay, let's take a look.
I'm so proud. Because I built it myself, right?
Does everything look all right?
Well, what's going on?
Ah, I broke the goddamn wheel.
All right, let's get it fixed.
You need help?
I reckon we can handle it. All right, Charles, you and me hold the thing up while you try and put the wheel back on after.
You still strong enough to hold up a wagon?
Shut up.
I'm just saying.
Don't say less. Pick the wheel up. Nearly there. There.
See? You ain't so useless after all.
Not quite.
Yeah, I was gonna say. This is not the way how to fix the wheel.
What do you think?
They're gonna have to tighten
If
it.
they wanted trouble, we wouldn't have seen them.
The Redskins.
Poor bastards. We really screwed them over down here. Come on, let's not push our luck.
What happened?
Well, get in. I'll tell you.
Genocide happened. What else?
Not too far
You know what's the
now.
biggest
Stay on this trail. We'll follow the river
reason
and
for
cut left
the
inland.
eradication of many tribes?
So,
Illness, disease.
the Indians in these parts got sold a very raw deal. This is the heartlands we're going to. Good farming and grazing country. They lost it all. Stolen clean away from them it was, every blade of grass. Killed or herded up to the reservations in the middle of nowhere.
And how's that different from anywhere else?
Well, maybe it's not. I just heard some of the army out here was particularly unpleasant about it.
Chickenpox, I think, was #1.
How do you rob and kill people pleasantly?
They brought it
We
over
don't.
overseas,
Spiders that just talk.
and millions
I
died.
fear I was perhaps trying to simplify something more complicated for the benefit of our block-headed driver here.
Hey, don't blame it on me. Never forget, this here's a con man, Charles, born and bred. Just 'cause it sounds fancy don't mean he knows a damn thing about what he's talking about.
Whoa, 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 what are you doing? Oh, the camera. I
So,
think we're screwed.
what happened to your tribe?
Oh
I don't
no!
even know if I have one.
What do I do now?
Not that I can remember.
What are we stopping for?
I'm sorry, where is the reverse? Oh, yuck. You have to reset or something? Fuck. I'm stuck. Okay. Gonna have to quit. Oh boy. Hmm. Let's try this again. Hopefully we can see the cutscene. There shouldn't be any save happen. So let's see.
Oh, for Lord's sake,
Nice, nice, nice.
put that book away and go help. Oh, Mary Beth.
Let's see if we crash.
So, we getting out of this hellhole?
We're gonna try. Weather seems stable.
And we just robbed the Leviticus Cornwall train.
We got money in our pockets. The worst is behind us, gentlemen. So the question is, where now?
I know this country a little. I told you, we should set up camp in Horseshoe Overlook near Valentine. We'll be able to hide out there no problem, as long as we keep our noses clean.
Well, then let's go. Clean noses and everything else.
John is still
you're in
wrecked.
that one. Bring Hosea. I know you two like to talk about the good old days and what's gone wrong with old Dutch.
Up and go do your job.
Okay, here we go. Don't you do it. No. Oh, that's sad. So we're just gonna skip, but yeah. So all the stuff I read on forums is the game just keeps crashing on PC. Hmm.
Oh, for Lord's sake, put that book away and go help. Oh, Mary Beth.
the stream.
As long as it doesn't wreck my Radeon settings, it's all good.
Ah, shit. Okay, let's take a look.
Ah, I broke the goddamn wheel.
All right, let's get it fixed.
You need help?
I reckon we can handle it. All right, Charles, you and me hold the thing up while you try and put the wheel back on, Arthur.
You still strong enough to hold up a wagon?
Shut up.
I'm just saying.
Well, say less. Pick the wheel up. Nearly there. There.
See? You ain't so useless after all.
Not quite.
Oh, we can skip this? Okay.
Not too far now. Stay on this trail. We'll follow the river, then cut left inland. Yeah. So, yes, the Indians in these parts got sold a very raw deal. This is the heartlands we're going to. Good farming and grazing country. They lost it all. Stolen clean away from them it was, every blade of grass. Killed or herded up to the reservations in the middle of nowhere.
And how's that different from anywhere else?
Well, maybe it's not. I just heard some of the army out here was particularly unpleasant about it.
Unpleasant? How do you rob and kill people pleasantly? We don't, in spite of Dutch's talk.
I fear I was perhaps trying to simplify something more complicated for the benefit of our block-headed driver here.
Hey, don't blame it on me. Never forget, this here's a con man, Charles, born and bred. Just 'cause it sounds fancy don't mean he knows a damn thing about what he's talking about. So, what happened to your tribe?
I don't even know if I have one. At least, not that I can remember. My father was a colored man. He told me he lived with our people for a while. A number of free men did. But when we were forced to move from our lands, the three of us fled. I was too young to really remember much. My whole life I've been in the run. A couple years later, some soldiers captured my mother. Took her somewhere. We never saw her again. We drifted around.
Oh man.
He was a very sad man, and the drink had a mean hold on him. Around 13, I just took off on my own.
That was about the age we found young Arthur here. Maybe a little older. A wilder delinquent you never did see. But he learned fast.
Not as fast as Marston, apparently.
Wait, I don't understand. What's the problem between you two?
Arthur?
It's a long story. We still heading the right way?
That depends. Are we still heading west in search of fortune and repose in virgin forests as we planned?
We're kinda going northeast.
Are we heading in the correct direction on our desperate escape from the law eastwards down the mountains? Yes, I believe so.
You know this area?
A little.
This
I've
is so
been through a
pretty
couple of
land. Look at
times.
this.
There's a livestock town not too far from here called Valentine. Cowboys, outlaws, working girls.
Wait, can we
Our
do
kind of
this?
place.
Yo, let's go.
Driscoll's?
Probably them too.
Pinkertons?
Let's hope not.
And this place we're going. Wait, what's it called again?
Horseshoe Overlook.
It's a good place to lie low?
It'll do for now. And how low do you think Dutch is really going to lie? It's just, you know, maybe it's me who's changed, not him, but we kept telling him that ferry job didn't feel right. You and me had a real lead in Blackwater that could have worked out.
Maybe.
It just isn't like Dutch to lose his head like that.
Things go wrong sometimes. People die. It's the way it is. Always has been. Me, you, Dutch. We've all been in this line of work a long time. And we're still here, so... well, I figure we must have got it right a hell of a lot more than we got it wrong.
Well, I got lucky, that's for sure.
What are you working on there, anyway?
Just some yarrow and ginseng. Good for the health. Better than that stuff you buy in the store. Yeah, you can have all this. I'm at the point where I can do it with my eyes closed.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You acquired some herbs. Which way? Ginseng. Look at the deer. What is this guy doing? What the fuck?
There you are, brother. Head in there and follow the track for a bit.
Thanks.
Hey, slow up. I'll jump on. Okay, let's go.
Javier.
Any trouble getting in here, Javier?
Nope. Went well. This is a good spot.
Excellent. I think this will work for us, Arthur. For now, anyway. Here we are, gentlemen. Home sweet home.
Wow, look at this, dude.
You weren't wrong, Hosea. This place
Cool.
is perfect.
I hope so.
Gentlemen, we have survived.
Well, there's some Indians. They're probably
Now
mad.
It is time to prosper.
Arthur and I were about to prosper in Blackwater. We were onto something big. Then Micah got you all excited about that ferry, and here we are.
We have all made mistakes over the years, Hosea. Every last one of us. But I kept us together. Kept us alive. Kept the nooses off our neck.
I guess I'm just worried. I ain't got that long, Dutch. I want folks safe before I go.
Me too.
And now we are stuck east of the Grizzlies and out of money, and a long way from our dream of virgin land in the west.
I know, my brother. But we are
Didn't we just have
safe.
money?
We make a bit of money here. Then we move again. Head out around them. Be west of Uncle Sam. In a few months, buy some land.
I hope so.
Would you just look around you? This world has its consolations.
Gentlemen, I'm going to head into the local town and, see if I can strike up a little business.
Of course, Herr Strauss. I prefer robbing banks to usury. Seems more dignified somehow. Now, everyone, put your tools down for a moment. Come on, gather round. Quickly now. I know that things have been tough, but we are safe now, and we are far too poor. So it is time for everyone to get to work.
Get to work, but stay out of trouble. Remember, we are itinerant workers.
Laid off when they shut down our factory to the north. Now get out there and see what you can find. Uncle, Reverend Swanson, no more passengers. It is time for everyone to earn their keep.
There is a town a little way down the track named Valentine. Livestock town, all mud and morons, if I remember right. That seems a decent place to start.
And, we need food. Real food. That means every day. One of you.
And remember, whatever it is that you find, the camp gets its slice. Now be sensible out there.
So we can upgrade the whole camp.
Mr. Morgan, come with me. You two will be ready shortly. We put you over here.
I'm sure everything will be fine, Miss Grimshaw.
It should be. Most of your stuff from Blackwater got saved.
Everything apart from my money.
Oh, don't remind me.
Well, we can always make more money.
We're gonna have to. Miss Jackson, I've seen shit with more common sense than you. Do it properly.
Sleep, shave, change clothes, or store weapons in the weapon locker at your tent. Alright. Chapter 2. Oh, I think I read about this. There's a bunch of stuff you can do, but the game doesn't tell you to. Should we look it up? It's a little cheating though. Because I was gonna go for like a blind playthrough, you know.
Rode east into some pretty enough country called the Heartlands. Ain't been this far east in many a year.
I'm not sure.
Dutch seems a little better. His eyes are sparkling once more, and I can see he's thinking a little clearer. I think we all feel a little happier, despite of Blackwater and that whole mess.
Arthur?
Jose?
Quite a day.
Let's hope so.
There's a bunch of the boys already in Valentine. Bill, Charles, and Javier. And Swanson found something down at the train station by the lake, apparently. And Strauss came back with that creepy little smile on his face. I'm sure there's a whole list of unfortunates he's forced money upon.
Thank you. And you?
I'm gonna read a book.
Okay. I want to shave and change clothes. Shave. Trim. All facial hair, mustache, chin, chops. Wait. Oh, look at this. We can go for the length. Do you go for chops? This is your current length. Oh, look at this. I mean, let's get rid of all of it, dude. The sun is out. We look clean and mean. Okay, I wanna change clothes. Outfits. Oh, look at this. Oh, wow. Cool. Wait. This one looks cool, but it's hot outside, dude. The summer gunslinger, hell yeah. What else? It's too hot for a hat, honestly. Yeah, no need for a coat. No need for vests. Ooh, I like this one. Let's stay with blue. Blue is kind of cool. Yeah, we don't need any of this. Ranch pants. You're too skinny. Need some... Let's get some jeans going. Oh, wow, look at this. Do we go blue? Nah. Suspender. Oh, so you have to have them. Okay, well. Okay. You have no outfit suitable for cold weather. No. This is good. So who is this? Beatrice Morgan, Spring Rocks, 1870. What?
Hi. Morning.
Good morning. How do I greet her?
How you doing, Molly?
So now you're robbing a train. How is that going to help us?
I'd speak to Dutch about that.
They have music? They have TikTok?
Well, I should get back to it.
Talk to you later.
I want to examine this. So they have like a makeshift shelf. Existence in Oblivion. Translated from Russian. Right, so we can contribute. Give item, give money. Can we give them an item? Because I don't want to give money. Oh, look at this. Can be sold for cash. I guess we sell this for cash, huh? We have gold pocket watch. Okay, I kind of don't want to upgrade anything yet. Because I don't know what it's gonna upgrade. But let's give $1. How much? Oh, you can go by pennies? That's my boy. That is so cool. Okay. Let's just check everything here. What's going on?
Got you there, tough guy.
Oh, damn, the guitar is gone, dude.
My friend. Just name the place.
So we can rest. How do we greet him? Doesn't work here. Oh, you can see on the minimap, it's like a city. I see. Right, so we got a medic tent over here. And then this is Bill.
Good morning.
No, it's Pearson.
Very into my crafting at the moment, Mr. Morgan. I'm very happy to make you something if you bring me the right materials.
What is this? Oh, a statue. Purchase leatherworking tools, craft other statue. Okay. Is this just like decor or seems like it? Pearson.
I reckon I need to get my hands on some materials first.
You're Arthur, right?
My name ain't no concern of yours.
Can I get the beans? Who's
I
talking?
don't give a damn.
Oh
You
shit.
seem like a decent feller behind it all.
Then you ain't a good judge of character.
Yeah, well, we'll leave it there then.
We can antagonize him. Oh god.
I mean, there must be enough for me to have a couple of bites.
Okay. So we have some chicken. This is our horse. What is this yellow thing over here? The graphics are amazing, dude. Wow, I'm actually running. What the fuck?
Ow! Oh, oh! Careful not to work yourself to death there, Uncle.
I was thinking.
Yeah, does it pay well?
Oh, eventually.
So, while the rest of us are busy stealing, killing, lying, fighting to try to survive, you get to think all day.
Well, it's a strange world we live in, Arthur Morgan.
Do you want to head into town? See if we can find anything out?
Sure, I got some errands to run.
Great. Go check the horses are ready.
You gonna take the old man into town? You take us too?
Well, what you got planned?
Nothing. We'll find something for y'all to do. We always do.
We're bored out of our minds. Been cooped up here for 2 weeks now. Karen's about ready to murder Grimshaw.
Well, can Miss Grimshaw spare you?
Can Miss Grimshaw spare you? What's happened to you, Arthur? 3 young, healthy women want you to take them a robbing. You're worried about house chores. Let's go.
We're gonna rob.
Fair enough. You got me. Come on then.
I can't believe we're going to see civilization. Feels like weeks since we did.
Yeah, Valentine. Very embodiment of civilization. You ladies are gonna love it.
Okay then. Let's go.
All right. Out through the
Okay, I guess we're heading out.
ladies, sing us a song.
I got a girl in Berryville. Can't be screwed 'cause she's too damn ill. So I don't go down there no more. There's a blue horse waiting outside her door. I had a girl in Valentine. Likes to drink that fancy wine. Blue in her hat was 2 feet tall. Cracking her pants, paid for it all. I had a girl in Berryville. Can't get her 'cause she won't stay still. She kicks and squeals and farts and hollers. Won't take less than $7. I got a girl in Berryville. I messed it up. I got a girl across the lane. Hair down there like a horse is made. I got a girl and she's got a thing. It's my feet are like a diamond ring. I got a girl in Valentine. He's all over the place. Blue in her hat is 2 feet tall. Cracking her ass paid for it all.
Oh, look at this horse.
Is one of you gonna get that fella's horse?
Well, I got lumbago. It's very
Are we?
serious.
Who is this?
All right, I'll see what's going on. Lumbago, really? You all right there, friend?
Oh, hey, you couldn't help me get my other horse back from over there, could you?
Help, don't help. Let's help him.
Sure, no problem.
Thanks. It's the white one over there.
So let's look left and right. So we don't get run over. Okay, he's probably gonna kick me in the face.
Whoa there, easy. Whoa, easy. Wait,
Was that it? Did the horse just take a shit?
Yeah, there, you got it. Well done, Arthur.
Damn, we are ladies, man. Let's see if we get a reward or something.
here you go.
You're a gentleman, sir. A gentleman.
No, not really. I was just trying to impress the women.
Yeah, he was.
Well, anyway, thank you.
Okay. So I can just leave
Come on, let's go.
To Valentine!
the wagon, huh?
You're turning into a regular old fairy godmother there, Arthur.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means you got a heart. A small one, perhaps, hidden deep inside, but a real one. And you haven't, you repulsive old lizard.
Lizards have hearts.
Well, Arthur, I'm proud of you.
To be honest, if you lot hadn't been here, I probably would have robbed him.
Well, you did.
Oh. Train. Check out the train.
Yeah.
Fall out.
Hold up there, folks.
Everything okay?
Cool. Oh shit! Oh no! Wait! Wait! Wait, what happened?
All right. Out through the trees here, then take a left.
Oh wow, it reset all the way. That was crazy, we just crash. And then they start shooting. That was so good. So it's like you can do anything in here, huh?
That's a song.
I got a girl in Berryville. Can't be screwed 'cause she's too damn ill. So I don't go down there no more. There's a blue horse living outside her door. I had a girl in Valentine. Likes to drink that fancy wine. Blue in her hat was 2 feet tall. Cracking her pants,
Go
they
right
pour
here.
it
It's quicker.
all. I got a girl in Berryville. Can't get her 'cause she won't stay still.
Okay, so we gotta be very careful. I love this dude. Because it's so slow game, very mechanical, and then everything has impact. That's amazing. So yeah, the next GTA is gonna be crazy, right?
Look at that coach. He's all over the place.
Oh, God. Damn it. Oh, shit, the horses.
Ah, this is all right.
Is one of you gonna get that fella's horse?
Oh, I got lumbago. It's very serious.
All right, I'll see what's going on.
Lumbago, that's probably something with his back, huh? Lumbar?
All right there, friend.
Oh, hey, you couldn't help me get my other horse back from over there, could you?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks. It's the white one over there.
Easy there, easy. Take it easy there. Good boy.
Good boy. Look at how big this face, dude. Can we run with it?
Here you go.
You're a gentleman, sir. A gentleman.
No, not really. I was just trying to impress the women.
go.
To Valentine!
You're turning into a regular old fairy godmother there, Arthur.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means you got a heart. A small one, perhaps, hidden deep inside, but a real one. And you haven't, your repulsive old lizard.
Blizzards have hearts.
Well, Arthur, I'm proud of you.
To be honest, if you lot hadn't been here, I probably would have robbed him.
Well, you did.
Yep.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Excuse me. What if I press restart mission? No, we have to do everything
Not to
again.
work yourself to death there, Uncle.
I was
Oh.
thinking.
Yeah, does it pay well?
Okay, so I tried to stop the thing, the card,
Whoa.
but I pressed the wrong button. And then I shot my weapon, and apparently that gets you failed mission, huh? Because of the police or something?
Ladies.
Shit, this is gonna happen more often because I don't know the controls.
I got a girl in Berryville. Can't be screwed 'cause she's too damn ill. So I don't go down there no more. There's a blue horse laying outside her door. I had a girl in Valentine.
Go right here.
Fancy wine. Blue and her hat was 2 feet tall. Cracking her pants, paid for it all. I got a girl in Berryville. Can't get her 'cause she won't stay still. She kicks and squeals and farts and hollers. Won't take less than $7. I got a girl in Berryville. I messed it up. I got a girl across the plain. Hair down there like a horse's mane. I got a girl and she's got a thing. It's my feet like a diamond ring. I got a girl in Valentine. Likes to
Look at
drink
that coach.
fancy
He's all
wine.
over the
Blue
place.
hair is 2 feet tall. Cracking her pants, paid for it all.
God damn it! Oh, shit, no, Arthur! Damn horse.
Is one of you gonna get that fella's horse?
Oh, I got lumbago. It's very serious.
All right, I'll see what's going on. Lumbago, really? You all right there, friend?
Oh, hey, you couldn't help me get my other horse back from over there, could you?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks. It's the white one over there.
It looks pretty.
Easy, easy. Easy. Easy.
See, Uncle, that is a gentleman. Yeah, there, you got it.
Oh, damn.
Well done, Arthur.
Actually riding it this time.
Here you go.
You're a gentleman, sir. A gentleman.
No, not really. I was just
Okay, we're not gonna
trying to
press
impress you.
anything now, but moving.
Come on, let's go.
To Valentine.
You're turning into a regular old fairy godmother there, Arthur.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means you got a heart. A small one, perhaps, hidden deep inside, but a real one. And you haven't, your repulsive old lizard.
Blizzards have hearts.
Well, Arthur, I'm proud of you.
To be honest, if you lot hadn't been here, I probably would have robbed him.
Well, you did.
Okay, so we have a mailbox.
Woo! Smell those sheep. Or is that Uncle?
Oh, very funny.
Do we check out the
Like a
mailbox?
decent little town. Other people.
Can't-
Finally. Look at
can't
all
get
that
off.
snow on the mountains. Sure don't want to be back up there.
You think we should have asked Molly to come with us?
Oh, no. Miss O'Shea is far too high and mighty now for the likes of us. Or to do any real work. She's a society lady now. Okay. Take a good look around, ladies. See what we got here.
We must not crash.
Down the main street.
Alright, let's see.
Right.
Sheriff,
Some
drugs,
bounties there, Arthur.
Heaven forbid
gunsmith.
you put your head on the line.
Yeah, that's a young man's game.
Ooh, yes. We can get up to some mischief here, all right.
Just remember, keep a low profile.
You
Smithfield,
remember that, though, Arthur?
Probably not.
Central General Store.
Let's park up down the end there, near the
We
station.
got a hotel.
Alright. Here we are, just like I said. The cultural center of civilization. Man at its finest.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Well, we're gonna do what any self-respecting maniac does. Put the women to work.
With pleasure. We'll start at the saloon.
Okay, just stay out of trouble and don't get yourselves noticed.
Right, I need to get something from the stores.
Okay, well, we'll see you at the general store when you're done.
I'm trying to interact with people. I'm just trying to see what we
So
can
that's
do.
how you see yourself, is it?
Hmm.
A maniac?
Well, in my youth, I used to be known as the one-shot kid.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask why.
Donate for the
You
poor.
are a sad man, Arthur Morgan. But I know you love me.
Desperately. You're my favorite parasite. No. Ringworm's my favorite parasite. You're my second favorite parasite.
Groceries,
Very funny.
dry goods, and notions.
Then rats with the plague. Then you.
Shut up. This is the place now. Come on.
So, what do you need?
Hell, a drop of whiskey for a start. You know, something to pass the time while we're waiting on the women.
Motherfucker.
Always thinking ahead, ain't you?
You're looking a bit tired there, Arthur.
Buy,
Why
examine,
don't you pick up
browse.
some coffee while we're here?
Plenty out on the shelves, but I got more out back. Whiskey's on the top shelf, nearest the door.
Is this whiskey? Rum.
Not getting anything, Arthur?
I don't know. Maybe.
We have whiskey up here. Is this it? Bourbon. Is bourbon whiskey?
So, you're actually buying for once? Are you feeling all right?
See this? Young folk got no respect for their elders no more. What do you reckon? The lamb or the sausage?
Well, this here's a sheep town. The lamb's the best in the state.
Now I know what the smell is.
Well, that's a ripe cheese, all right.
They have like some sort of cutter thingy. This is tonics.
All done.
Thank you kindly. Ah,
Hair tonic.
This should do the trick.
Yep, that's fine whiskey.
Oh, so he's
That
got
should
some
do it.
whiskey now.
Let's go wait for them outside.
I'm not sure if I need anything here. Cover scent lotion. This is also much. It's overwhelming, dude. Yeah, I think Uncle got what he wanted. I'm not sure if I need anything, so I'm just gonna pass, I suppose. Let's see though. What is this? Chocolate bar. Okay. And this is expensive. Horse reviver. I guess we need one. But I'm supposed to buy one. Did I buy? Oh, that was fast. Okay. So we can misclick fast. Yo, let's try and sell our watches. Also, yeah, let's try and sell these. Oh, he doesn't want any of them. Ah. Okay. Let's get one of these. Attracts average herbivores in the vicinity. It's like a lure. Okay, we're good.
Oh, here's to your good health, sir. And to being down here off that mountain.
Absolutely.
It's a funny world, you know. This time in my career, I pictured myself being married to an heiress.
Gentlemen, I think I got something good.
What?
I snuck into this fancy house. Acted like a servant girl. Usually works. Someone was saying her sister was taking a trip from New York or someplace. Train full of rich tourists heading to Saint Denis and then cruising off to Brazil.
Okay.
A train laden with baggage and passing through a bit of deserted country at night as to get to the docks in time for the tides in some place called Scarlet Meadows.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, it's right out near New Hanover. Right, it's real quiet out there.
Sounds good. Where's Tilly and Karen?
I think at the hotel. They were picking up some drunken fellas that they was gonna rob.
Why?
It seemed easy. They have been gone for quite a while.
I guess I'll go see if there's any trouble.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there's Tilly over there. That does not look ideal.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Get your hands off me.
You thought I wouldn't find you, Tilly?
You can go kiss a damn snake for all I care. Get off me! Get off of me!
I've been looking too long.
Get your hands off her, friend.
Who are you?
A friend of mine.
Get off her.
Or what exactly?
Smack.
You want to find out?
You're making a big mistake, Tilly Jackson.
Just get lost.
So they know each other.
Go wait with Uncle and Mary Beth. They're across the street.
Okay. Thanks, Arthur.
Should we follow him? Aim weapon. Fuck, are we crashing again? No. Sad. Oh. Okay. Let's try and lower the quality. Let's start with shadows. So we probably have saved at the liquor store or whatever store, groceries.
Where have you wandered off to?
Wait. Oh no way, we all the way back? Oh, come on, man. That's no fun. The video memory is not even like... The crashes are so random. There's no reason to crash. Oh. So this was our stuff.
Good morning, Arthur.
How do I say? There we go.
I'm glad you boys made it back all right. We was worried.
Warm there?
Trying to. At least we've got a fire now.
Yep. Anyway, I won't disturb you.
Yes. See you later.
Ow! Whoa, whoa!
Careful not to work yourself to death there, Uncle.
I was thinking.
Yeah, does it pay well?
Oh, eventually.
So, while
All right. Out through the trees here, then take a left.
Here's to the autopilot. There it is. What are we gonna do with the crashes, dude?
Ladies, that's a song.
I got a girl in Berryville. Can't be screwed 'cause she's too damn ill. So I don't go down there no more. There's a blue horse laying outside her door. I had a girl in Valentine. Likes to drink that fancy wine. Blue and her hat was 2 feet tall. Cracking her pants for it all. I had a girl in Berryville. Can't get her 'cause she won't stay still. She kicks and squeals and farts and hollers. Won't take less than $7. I got a girl in Berryville. I messed it up. I got a girl across the lane. Hair down there like a horse is made. I got a girl and she's got a thing. Fits my feet like a diamond ring. I got a girl in Valentine. Likes to drink that fancy wine. Blooming her head is 2 feet tall. Cracking her pants, pay for it all.
Look at that coach. He's all over the place.
Is one of you gonna get that fella's horse?
Oh, I got lumbago. It's very serious.
All right, I'll see what's going on. Lumbago, really? You all right there, friend?
Oh, hey, you couldn't help me get my other horse back from over there, could you?
Sure, no problem.
Thanks. It's the white one over there.
You can do it, Arthur.
Hey, easy now. Whoa. Whoa, go.
You're a gentleman, sir. A gentleman.
No, not really. I was just trying to impress the women.
Come on, let's go.
To Valentine!
You're turning into a regular old fairy godmother there, Arthur.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means you got a heart. A small one, perhaps, hidden deep inside, but a real one. And you haven't, your pulse old lizard.
Blizzards have hearts.
Well, Arthur, I'm proud of you.
To be honest, if you lot hadn't been here, I probably would have robbed him.
Well, you didn't. Woo! Smell those sheep. Or is that Uncle?
Oh, very funny.
This looks like a decent little town. Other people, finally. Look at all that snow on the mountains. Sure don't want to be back up there.
You think we should have asked Molly to come with us?
Oh, no. Miss O'Shea is far too high and mighty now for the likes of us. Or to do any real work. She's a society lady now. Okay. Take a good look around, ladies. See what we got here.
These three are trouble, dude. They're trying to rob people.
Go left here, down the main street. Yeah,
There's always on the right.
sure you can pick up some bounties there, Arthur.
Heaven forbid you put your head on the line.
So we can pick up bounties. That's cool.
Ooh, yes. We can get up to some mischief here, all right.
Just remember, keep a low profile.
Will you remember that, though, Arthur?
Probably not.
Let's park up down the end there, near the stables.
Yeah.
Incredible. All right. Here we are, just like I said.
Hey, can we save?
Cultural center of civilization. Man at its finest.
Uncle, what are we doing?
Well, we're gonna do what any self-respecting maniac does. Put the women to work.
With pleasure. We'll start at the saloon.
Okay, just stay out of trouble and don't get yourselves noticed.
Right, I need to get something from the stores.
Okay, well, we'll see you at the general store when you're done.
Come on, ladies. Imagine we're in Paris.
Come on.
I imagine Paris and Dallas.
So that's how you see yourself, is it? A maniac?
Well, in my youth, I used to be known as the one-shot kid.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask why.
You are a sad man, Arthur Morgan. But I know you love me.
Desperately. You're my favorite parasite. No. Ringworm's my favorite parasite. You're my second favorite parasite.
Very funny.
I lied. Ringworm, then rats with the plague, then you.
Shut up. This is the place now. Come on. Morning.
So, what do you need?
Hell, a drop of whiskey for a start. You know, something to pass the time while we're waiting on the women.
Okay, so he's getting a bourbon. I'm gonna do the same.
You're looking a bit tired there, Arthur. Why don't you pick up some coffee while we're here?
Full stock list in the catalog here on the
Coffee.
counter. Whiskey's on the top shelf, nearest the door.
Brown coffee.
Okay, if you're done, I'll meet you outside. I won't be too long.
Here's to your good health.
Get your hands off me.
You thought I wouldn't find you, Tilly?
You can go kiss a damn snake for all I care. Get off me! Get off of me!
Get your hands off her, friend.
Who are you?
A friend of mine.
Get off her.
Or what exactly?
You want to find out?
You're making a big mistake, Tilly Jackson.
Just get lost.
I ain't doing this with
Go
you.
wait with Uncle and Mary Beth. They're across the street.
Okay. Thanks, Arthur.
Should we go for him again? Okay, so he's gone. If I aim at him and shoot, shit is gonna go down, I believe, so we're not gonna do anything. The shadows look pretty good. I'm gonna remove a little more. Is there a way though? Okay, we're just gonna keep lowering if it looks good enough. That way we are on the safer side. If anything happens. Is this Dutch? Aim weapon. Aim weapon, okay.
Uncle, look after her. I'm gonna go see about Karen in the hotel.
Can I help you, sir?
Try and help people. I do all I can manage. Are you doing all you can?
Sir?
Use your...
I'm looking for a girl who came in here earlier with a drunk fella. Mid-20s, blonde. You'd remember her.
Yeah, they're in 2B upstairs. Are you, a friend of his?
A friend of hers.
No, we're actually crashing again, dude. Oh, okay. And we are indoors, so... It is horrible. What should we do? I guess we find out next time, because I'm gonna have to, like, do a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna try and reinstall the GPU driver, and then do some VRAM. This and that. Oh, this is bullshit, dude. Okay, guys, I guess that's it for gaming today. Because I CBA, if we get reset to all of the start again, that's horrible. Oh no. Yesterday was so good. No. Bro. So yeah, the forum says the game is crashing a lot on PC. That makes me sad. It's a sad day anyways today. What was I expecting anyway? So we're gonna watch something. We're gonna take a little bathroom break and then let's find something. I got a girl in Berryland. I wanna listen to that song. We are back.
Ladies, sing us a song.
Alright. I got a girl in Berryville, can't be screwed cause she's too damn ill. So I don't go down there no more, there's a blue horse laid outside her door. I got a girl in Berryville, can't be screwed cause she's too damn ill. So I don't go down there no more, there's a blue horse laid outside her door. I had a girl in Valentine, likes to drink that fancy wine. Blue in her hat was 2 feet tall, crack in her pants, paid for it all.
Ladies, sing us a song.
Alright. I got a girl in Berryville, can't be screwed cause she's too damn ill. So I don't go down there no more, there's a blue horse laid outside her door. I got a girl in Berryville, can't get her in cause she won't stay still. She kicks and squeals and farts and hollers, won't take less than $7. I got a girl in Valentine, likes to drink that fancy wine. The plume in her hat is 2 feet tall, the crack in her pants pays for it all. I got a girl in Berryville. I messed it up. I got a girl across the lane, hair down there like a horse's mane. I got a girl and she's got a thing, fits my Peter like a diamond ring.
Hello! Thanks for joining us today. This here was a new song about a so-called modern improvement you may
We're gonna optimize the game for streaming and stuff. I can probably play it without an issue if I'm not streaming, but this is a little bit more demanding, you know. It's still, you know, I guess not optimized for PC. It's like a PlayStation game, so my PC is better than 5 PlayStations though, so I don't know what's going on. It's so stupid. Jenny. What's up, Jenny? Let's see, Jenny. Account created today. So if you wanna scam me, hurry it up, please, because I'm in a bad mood today. We can watch more interviews of drug addicts to make ourselves feel better. There is one YouTube channel, they have amazing stories, but I'm afraid that I have watched all of them. Let me check it out. Mumbai Attack Survivor. Yeah, I was gonna listen to this one for sure.
What we then started piecing together in terms.
Nice to meet you. Which game do you stream mostly? Live. And I'm very bad at it because I'm getting fucked every day. Okay. Alright, Jenny. Hold on tight because we're going for a video watch. Let's check this one out. I heard terrorists killing people in my hotel. Minutes with led Bible stories. This channel is amazing. I've watched all of them. They have like, I don't know, million videos. I watched all of them. Let's see the newest one. I haven't seen this one yet.
In terms of the soundscape was that they were on our floor and they were kicking in doors and they were executing people because it was just single shots. And you'd hear like a single shot and then a bit quiet and then another single shot, but closer. And it felt like we were kind of waiting to die.
Oh shit, he's in a wheelchair now.
I grew up in North London, Finsbury Park, Crouch End. In many ways, I feel like I had quite an idyllic childhood for someone who grew up in London. In actual fact, I think what's interesting now, just looking back on my life before my injury, is I kind of see that there were no real barriers to me living a life that I kind of wanted to choose. Not that I knew what I wanted to do, of course, but it kind of weighed on my mind a little bit. I really didn't have any clear ambitions. And I think that was reflective in some of the kind of choices I made in education. They weren't really that coherent. And I went to university and I made a mess of the degree and I didn't end up getting anything. And actually where I found myself from an earlier age was in the hospitality industry. That then sort of informed some of my work choices for the next few years, where I worked in hospitality and I managed a few bars and restaurants in and around Soho.
In 2008, what did life look like for you?
I like to 1 to 5x speed, everything.
It's interesting because I've obviously done a few talks around what I've been through, and often how I define the period leading up to Mumbai in a way that kind of makes it sound as if I had my act together.
What?
And I kind of feel like I did. Like, I just started working relatively recently with a production company making adverts. And I've been in the job for maybe about a year and a half. So the work thing felt as if I was like, yes, this is something I can really get my teeth in. I loved hospitality, I love working in bars, but I never saw it as a proper career. I was like, one day I will own my own bar. And I'm glad that I've worked here and I've met all these people. But working in that production company, I just loved it. And I was in a newish relationship, and that felt pretty good. And honestly, I was like, this is it. Life is good. I was 27, 28 years old. We just moved to a basement flat in Camden. It was like, okay, cool. I'm doing the thing. You know, I'm working in Soho. I'm going to be a film director one day, and I've got a cool girlfriend.
And then you went to India. What took you to India?
Leisure, relaxation, holiday. I'd never been. My partner had been. She
I would
loved it.
never go to India. Never in my life can anything get me to India.
Let's go to Goa. On the date that we were actually meant to depart, we got to the airport, and went
Too
to
many
check in,
people on
visas.
too few
We
quadrat
didn't have our
centimeters.
visas. And so we were both just like,
There is no room and it's
And
all dirty
there's a
and
sort of a
smells
small
like
irony,
cow
we weren't
shit.
even meant to be in India at the time of the attack. But yeah, anyway, so we had to postpone the trip for about a week while we got scrambled and got our visas together.
Oh, Tibo, was geht?
It's just how it is. It's like the stars aligned, and sometimes they align for good and sometimes for bad. Sometimes it seems
Wir
like
hören
it's
alles auf
bad
doppelter
and
Geschwindigkeit
it's
ist.
not all that bad. But yeah, we did what you do in Goa. You know, we chilled out. I played football on the beach with the locals. We scored some, you know, cheap hashish.
You look like a gypsy crusader. I am.
Just relaxed.
I'm
And
gypsy.
basically,
How do you know?
The way the flights were on the way back was that we had a stopover in Mumbai. And so it was like, what do we do? we might as well treat ourselves to a bit of luxury, you know, rather than sort of scramble her out to kind of make the connecting flights work. So we arrived back in Mumbai. We got to the hotel, which was the Taj Palace down near the Gate of India. The hotel was incredible. I mean, it's a destination, right? And
the building looks
kind of an
beautiful.
Old world, new world about it. It's huge. It's got 8 restaurants, incredibly ornate. Everything is just oversized.
Oh,
But
it's
yeah, it just felt
somebody,
very
Gypsy
traditional,
Crusader.
you know, and
I look him up,
very kind of
okay?
opulent, and you're like, oh, we're going to have to be smart here. We checked in under my partner's name and were shown to our room on the 3rd floor. And at this point, it was kind of quite early evening, so we had quite a lot of
I'm
time
way
before
more
dinner,
handsome.
and we actually just dropped our bags.
I
did a
see what you
little
say,
tour of the
though.
area and got back to the hotel and just started preparing for dinner.
That's crazy.
That's kind of where it all started kicking off, really. So my partner was putting on her makeup in the bathroom, and I think I was just putting on a shirt, and it was really weird because I heard what essentially was a gunshot, but I didn't know because I've never heard a gunshot before. It's not a car backfiring. It's not a firework. It had this sort of dead reverberation to it. And you're like, that's weird. And I just remember looking out the window and what had been a really busy area, because it's this kind of huge tourist destination, just was empty. It's like, there's no one there. Oh, and there's a guy hiding behind a car. Huh, that's weird. And then you hear it again. You're like, oh, that's a bit closer. And so there was this kind of sense of like, oh, right, okay, that could be a gunshot. And it's now nearer to our location. And then gradually it just got louder and louder and closer. And you're like, right, this is happening from within the hotel. This is happening inside the building we're in.
Would you be scared? I would be shitless, dude. I would be scared shitless.
Because we're on this sort of, you know, you've got these kind of internal kind of mezzanine style things. And went down the corridor to where the big staircase was. And it was this huge square thing, like huge staircase. And you kind of look down it.
That's a nice staircase, though.
Yeah, I guess that's gun smoke. And I remember looking across the stairway, and there was another guest, and he had blonde hair and these circular glasses, and we kind of just caught eye contact, and we kind of just shook each other's head like that. And basically, both of us just turned around, retreated, went back to our room. And we're in the room, we locked the door, okay, let's barricade it. And we were like, right, well, it's one of 2 scenarios. It's either this lone gunman who's going to run out of ammo.
Was it only one?
There's a hostage situation going to unfold. And we're like, right, well, basically, either scenario, we just need to stay put. Like, we just need to stay where we are, like, out of the way. There's plenty of people down there. We don't know the layout of the hotel that well. We don't know whether we can make a sort of hasty escape because we just don't know how many people there are.
2008. Oh, it's 10 people. Oh, no.
Was there a definitive moment that you recognised you were in a terrorist situation?
Yeah. I called my dad. What did I expect him to do? I don't know. But he was really good. He was like, all right, I'm going to make some calls. I don't know who he thought he was going to call. He doesn't have any connections. But he did actually call the British consulate, and he did call me back, and he confirmed that, yes, this was a situation. This was a terrorist situation. It was just kind of abstract that this was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And you start playing through the scenarios, like, what would MacGyver do? What would Bruce Willis in Die Hard do? Like, and you're like, these are now resources. These aren't like fiction films. These are now like, right, so if I recall correctly, we should be able to access the panels of the bathroom wall. No, everything's sealed shut. There's no accessing the ceiling. On our floor, there was a cupboard. I remember seeing, I was like, maybe we get out, maybe we go and hide in the cupboard. I was like, what are you playing at? Like, we just stay where we are. We lock the door. So we were calm, and we were kind of mindful that in any scenario, we just didn't want to be seen. It was like a theatrical experience because we're in this room and the whole thing is going off around us, like in this sort of like soundscape. It's explosions, it's gunshots. What we then started piecing together in terms of the soundscape was that they were on our floor and they were kicking in doors and they were executing people because it was just single shots.
Oh my God.
And you'd hear like a single shot and then a bit quiet and then another single shot, but closer.
What goes through your head when you hear
this was like it. This was like the apex. This was the crunch time where suddenly we have been ambient passengers to now we're going to be in this. Okay, what do we do? Right, you got the door to the hotel room. You've got the bathroom door is right here. We're in the bathroom. We're going to draw the curtain to the bath. We're going to stand behind the door of the bathroom. I'm going to hold a cutlery fork. They're going to walk in. They're going to see the curtain. They're going to think we're in there. They're going to walk forward towards that, and I'm going to stab him in the neck with a fork. And that was the plan. Like, that was the plan. And we must have been in that like position, I don't know, half an hour, 20 minutes, just waiting. And it felt like we were kind of waiting to die, I think, at that point, because I don't think a cutlery fork was really going to stand up to an AK or a pistol or whatever. And you know what? Honestly, the fact that they never kicked through that door, yeah, I still feel pretty happy about that.
Do you know why they didn't? Do you know why they didn't get to the door?
Don't know, and I have seen footage, security footage of them doing this. So we know that our visualization of events was pretty accurate. But I don't know why they didn't kick down our door. What I do know is that after a while, what became clear was that the building had taken a lot of damage. And there'd been a lot of explosions. And at some point, and then back onto the phone to my dad, and he said, look, it's on fire. You're in the old part of the building. This has to be part of your decision-making process now, like in terms of getting out. We realized that the room we were in was like pretty sealed shut. Like I said, the windows, traditional 3-bay window, but double glazed, bolted shut, so we couldn't open any of the windows.
It's time for
60 feet
Ibu.
up. We can't go out the front because A, there's terrorists, B, there's a fire, and C, we don't know where the hell we're going. So what we're going to do, let's make a rope. So there was a pair of little stationary scissors, cut the curtains down. We got the sheets, we got towels, everything we could. Tried to get this rope, did like a tug of war in the room, kind of tested its strength, felt all right. And basically there was this little round marble table with kind of wrought iron legs, little writing table. Picked that up, threw it against the window, it bounced off. Okay, right. Pick it up again, give it a bit more welly, smash the window. Once we had the window broken and we tied this rope to the table and we sort of flung it out, we could really get a sense of like, right, we're high. We're like, it was because it was 3rd floor, but old building, and there were just layers and layers to it. So it's like, felt like 60 feet or something. And I don't think the rope.
Is that how he got into the
floor.
wheelchair?
It was like, if you can peering over and you're kind of like, yeah, it's hanging down. I think it will be all right. Like, we'll be able to get far enough that we can then drop. But at this point, there's sort of the decision making, I think, happened quite quickly. I think we were like, there's no point on dilly-dallying here. There was like this, this dual threat of like the building's on fire. It could collapse. We don't know. If we sit on the windowsill for too long, we might get shot. There could be terrorists all around. There's no police. There's no fire. There's no ambulance. There's no army. We just got to do this. And so the rope had gone down. I basically looked. I was like, yeah, all right. And I kind of told my girlfriend I'd love to. Gave her a kiss on the cheek, and I was like, right, I'll go first. I remember the point at which I was sort of still on the windowsill and holding the rope, and then you kind of like take your hand off the windowsill and you're like, right, my weight is now fully on this rope, and I'm just gonna go for it. Within 10 seconds or so of being on this rope, maybe like a couple of meters from the windowsill, I felt the knot slipping. Like, my brain was like, yep, this isn't holding. these knots aren't holding.
Shit.
And I honestly, there was this real sense of like, and you're dead. Like, and this, like, the knot's gonna go, and you're gonna fall, and you're not gonna survive this. And this all happened in like a microsecond, because essentially I passed out before I hit the ground.
Damn.
My brain basically said, you don't need to be around for this, you don't need to see this. And I had a bit of an out-of-body experience. And again, in the movie, like, theme that sort of seems to embody a lot of this, it was like Alan Rickman in Die Hard. It was like I saw myself from like fixed camera, gone. Like, and from that moment, I was dead. Like, I'm not surviving this. And that's all I really remember with clarity. Because after that, I'm out for the count. Someone had seen me fall, someone else on the ground. This guy, he sees me fall, he then flags down an ambulance, somehow manages to successfully do that, gets me scooped up into an ambulance. By virtue of that, they then know my partner's in the room. They then get a fire engine with a cherry picker and get her out. And eventually, I come round probably 12 hours, 24 hours later, and I'm in a hospital bed, and I've got plaster casts up my arm, I've got plaster casts up that arm, and I've got a metal cage sticking out my body, and I'm just sort of morphined up to the max, and my partner's there, and I'm alive.
Wow, what?
I say
The attacks lasted 4 days, concluding with India's national security guards eliminating the remaining terrorists in the Taj Mahal hotel. In total, 175 people died, including 9 of the attackers. So 1 attacker survived, with more than 300 injured. Wow! And his girlfriend, what happened to her? Oh my god, dude.
Essentially, I'd landed on my arse, and so that was the point of spinal injury. But seemingly, I put my hands down as well because I completely smashed my wrist to absolute bits. It's an absolute miracle that it works in any degree, because I had some big reconstructive surgery on that. I'd smashed my elbow, which is why I can't extend beyond this point, and I'd fractured my pelvis and punctured my lung. So everything had just sort of happened in this region, which is incredibly lucky that I didn't hit my head. I mean,
oh my god.
It's like it's really the reason why I'm here today in any capacity. So I sustained a spinal injury at T10, T12, which is waist level. And all I really knew from that was that they had operated on it, and I couldn't really move, like my lower body. And I wasn't really asking any questions. I kind of didn't really want to know at that point. But the whole time in the hospital in India was eerie, because there was still 1 or 2 terrorists that hadn't been caught. Hospitals had been a target, so there was a sense that still a threat. At night, it just felt really scary. I'm completely powerless, and that pervaded until I was fully that feeling of not being safe remained until I was repatriated to the UK. As the flight came to the end and the plane banks over London, I think we landed in Gatwick, and I saw the Thames, and it was just like, man, that is relief. Like, that was the first moment of, oof, wow, I'm safe. Eventually I make it to Stanmore, which is one of the homes of spinal injury. And at this point, I was still in the mind that I can heal myself out of this. This is going to be past tense, right? And I'm in the consultation with my dad and my partner and the consultant, Dr. Gore. She's an incredible woman, like really lovely.
That name, Dr.
And
Gore.
she was talking about the classification of spinal injury. She said, look, there's 2 ways of classifying. It's either incomplete, where information and motor function can return, or you have a complete injury, and essentially what you have is frozen and locked in at that moment, and you have a complete injury.
What are those first instincts when you learn that? What do you think?
You know what? It's just sadness. It's just overriding sadness. And actually, I didn't realize it's grief. It's grief for a loss of yourself. Like, there's a part of me that's sort of dead, both physically and conceptually. There's a life that you suddenly start imagining just like crumbling. How am I going to teach my unborn children how to ride a bike? How am I going to play football ever again? How am I going to do? And your mind just plays all the dirty tricks on you. I did get discharged eventually, sort of the summer of 2009. And you know what? That first year was all right. Like, honestly, it was okay. There was a lot to get used to. You had a guy in here recently. I know a guy called David Holmes, who's a stuntman for Daniel Radcliffe.
I remember this one, yeah.
The whole time. In Stanmore. And he changed my life in the sense that we went through this together. His injury was higher up than mine, and his whole life was governed by his physicality. Like, he would have been and was a world-class stuntman. His career would have been amazing. And suddenly, poof, gone. And his injury's up here, and he needs help getting out of bed, and my injury's here, and my life isn't governed around my physicality. All right, that's perspective straight away. Like, okay,
perspective, dude, I swear.
It's not that
if that doesn't make you feel better about any shit that's going on. Like,
I'm now classified as a victim of terror.
Man.
And I'm disabled. And on the face of it, both these terms and descriptors are kind of negative.
Oh,
but by being
I'm
in
so
something like a
sorry,
terror
dude.
attack, guess what? Organizations like you want to film me. And I'm able to leverage being in a terrorist attack to drive a narrative around disability inclusion. I mean, the whole point in doing this today is so that your audience can kind of see me in a wheelchair. That's really important. Like, the normalization of disability as something that isn't negative is difficult for people who don't have any experience of disability. My conversations around disability now are based around the intolerance that I feel when I'm presented with barriers, both physical or financial or informational or human or whatever they are, to basically say, this is shit and it should be better. And it's not about fixing it for me, but it's about fixing it for the next gen. But from that sort of just kind of acceptance and conversations with people that I've done webinars for, actually, you know, one guy was actually like, Will, listen, get what you're saying about authentically speaking on behalf of yourself and other people, but could you like create like a disability Avengers team? I was like, that's not a bad idea, to be fair. And that was about 2 years ago, and I've now managed to build this little team of consultants that I've called the Disability Task Force, and there's 14 of us, and you know, I've got 2 blind consultants, 2 deaf consultants, I've got a guy who's got Down syndrome, I've got 3 people neurodivergent, I've got 3 people with cerebral palsy, 1 person is tetraplegic. It's like, actually, that's starting to look a bit more representative. The hope is that I can sort of talk us into some interesting places.
You're intoxicatingly positive after such traumatic events. Did you ever have negative feelings towards the attackers?
With regards to the attackers themselves, I had quite early on an indication that there was a terrorist group that actually Taiba were of that extreme sort of religious arm that liked to brainwash people. And I kind of knew that the terrorists themselves were actually really young, and they were about 17, 18. And
Oh my God.
I've heard the radio conversations that they have with their handlers, and they're doubting themselves. They're having doubts. They're having doubts that this is what God wants. And the handler is like, continue, continue. This is the right thing. You do this. You'll get all you wish for. And I think I felt pity more than anything for those guys. Am I proud of myself? Yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm proud of how I acted in the moment. Something like this happens, it gives you an opportunity, you know, and I think I took that opportunity and I've turned it into the proverbial positive. And you know what? I'm proud of myself for that.
Man, it's so rough. I feel so bad for him. But what he said about disabled people not being that included, I never get that feeling. But also, I'm not disabled, so I don't have the perspective, probably. I know about how we have ramps, right? To make it easier for them to be accessible. How on every traffic light there is more aid and all these sort of things. But I would never have thought of them not being that included. It is, however, it's not a disabled world. Majority is not disabled. So I do believe him when he says he's got a feeling like it is harder for them, you know. But it's obvious, it obviously is. I mean, life itself is just... Feel sorry for him, man. But what shocks me more is the 17, 18-year-olds terrorists. It's children, it's babies. It's a rough one, dude. Let's see if there's another one. There's crazy ones like Amazon Explorer on being shot at by drug cartel and surviving deadly malaria had to eat his dog to survive. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude? What would you have done in this situation, by the way, in his situation? Like, I liked very much his plan with the bathroom and stuff. Damn, dude. 10 years in Indian prison. I find this interesting because I swear Indian is a shithole, dude. I would never go there voluntarily. Nothing can get me there, dude. Oh, a new video by Kurt. Let's check him out. What is he doing? Is he going political now? What's happening?
Behind me
Inside the last ISIS stronghold. What is this? IQ? Is this Iraq? Shocking. By Kurt Cast. I love him, dude. He's a giga player.
in the distance is the destroyed mosque where the Islamic State was officially declared by their religious leader. Welcome to Nineveh, the city.
I swear everything religious related is just lunacy. Always destruction, death, terrorism. What the fuck is going on, man?
That God wanted to destroy because of their sins. Salam. Or, as is known today, Mosul. So, let's go and check this place out. And just a couple of years back, I wouldn't have been able to walk here. Let's go. Yalla. All the old 1,000-year buildings, all destroyed. Bullet holes literally everywhere. Man, there's an atmosphere in this place that I've never felt anywhere in the world. This is the capital of the Caliphate. Salam alaikum. Kif halak? So check it out, the people of Mosul have been working hard over the last couple of years to rebuild their city. Got the new buildings here. Check it out, guys. Absolutely riddled with gunshots. This part of the city is called the Old City. Some of these buildings are thousands of years old. This is where insurgents and the Iraqi military and different militant groups would have had battles. They would have hit out here. Okay, shukran. They would have had battles, they would have hid in the buildings, taken cover in family homes, which have been abandoned. Check it out. What a place, man. Salam alaikum. Kif halak? I can sit here? Tamam? Yalla? Let's get on this. Whoa. Whoa. Jesus. Okay. كيف حالك؟ شو اسمه؟ محمد. Kurt. أنا Kurt. Shukran. Right. So, getting a tour of Mosul in local fashion. Check out these sheiks. أنا ألمانيا. Okay. تلفزيون. لا. YouTube. Wow. So, وانت how do you say working? Damn. I don't know. وانت Mosul? Wow, man. Look at this place. Woo. Yes. Getting a free taxi ride, yeah? Well, I don't know if it's free, but Naam, Almania. We'll give him something for his service. I don't know, is this how locals get around in Mosul? Should we get off here? I don't know.
With donkeys, for sure.
Is it church? I wouldn't have been there. Iraq. تلفزيون لا. YouTube. Let's ride this guy's horse. مرحبا. شكرا. Whew. It's warm today, finally. أنا? Wow, we're riding a horse here. Okay. A dragon?
ايه.
Yeah, وانت؟ تمام؟
ايه. اعملها بقى شوي زيدني.
شوي.
ايه بقى.
شوي. Give me 5. تمام؟
بعد شوي تلعب.
Okay. Gave him like $4 here. Mohammed, ma salama. Getting out the taxi and let's go and explore Mosul. Check it out. Now, roaming around in this country is very interesting, especially with a camera, because you get stopped by officials, either military or police, every 5 minutes. What are you doing? Why are you here? Where do you come from? Why are you filming? It is the most paranoid state on earth. Should we get some tea to take away? Salam. Givalek. Chai. Chai. Chai? Okay, come on. Kebab.
Kebab.
Chai. Okay. Salam alaikum. Chai. Wahad. And fadlak. Wahad. Man fadlak. Chai. Oh wow, look at this place. Salam alaikum. What an old building. Oh, you can sit down here, try, sit. Okay, come on. Okay, come on. You're China. I sit? Okay, shukran. Oh wow, look at this, they got an old fireplace for warmth. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Shukran. Okay, so, quick chai break. Wanted to take it away, but fuck, I can't even drink that, it's so hot.
Look at all the sugar at the bottom.
Fireplace. And they got something burning in there because it's hot. It's pumped with sugar. Lovely. Nothing like some good old English tea in the morning. Mm. So we're gonna drink this and we're gonna carry on. Ashat. Merhaba Mose. Yalla. Ciao. Me? Hey. Okay. We got a cameraman in the background filming us. Shoo isme Mose. No. Gawa. Chekhan. How much? No. Sure? Thank you, man. Shukran. Masalama.
For free.
Right. They didn't accept my payment. It's very common here in Iraq. Okay, masalama. Wow. Over here.
What is this, a playground?
That
Wow, this looks sad. Oh my
of their
god.
swings and their seats for being un-Islamic when Daesh used to rule over the city.
Oh, what? Really?
Bullet holes in the wall.
Oh my. This picture looks so
Just
sad.
before the insurgents made their way and captured the city, which took around 6 days, kids would have been playing on these swings and in these parks. Mothers would have been sat by, watching. And then that all ended. And now, for a quick commercial break from the ancient ruins of Nineveh. And today, we'll be talking about Manscaped, the world's greatest men's grooming company. We'll be showcasing the Lawnmower 5.0, their latest beard trimmer. You can shave your beard with this thing, your chest hair, your balls. Click in the link in the description of this video. You can get 20% off of all Manscaped purchases by using my code CURDCAS20.
I'll try to get a Manscaped
Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring this video.
sponsor as well. I will try.
Bullet shell.
It's a bullet
Around
shell.
the old castle of Bashtawiya. Find all these old bullet shells just lying in the ground. Like this one. It's completely destroyed by you-know-who. So this is a perfect example of a building that has been cleared of any landmines and is now safe to roam around. Well, at least safe from explosive landmines, not human landmines. Fucking dried up turds everywhere. Fucking hell. The extent of damage. This will take another 50 years to recover from this.
Yeah.
Fuck me. So yeah, is a poster describing what to look out for in Arabic.
And they're gonna
Which
stay
signs to
behind and be left
Be
behind.
aware of, and what the different landmines and bombs look like.
And the rich are just gonna get
Imagine being a
richer.
kid having to grow up.
Goes,
like
the same
this.
goes for countries. The gap is gonna be increasing and...
Oh shit, hey!
Oh wow! Stray dogs, that's actually dangerous, man.
Used to be a toilet.
They're savage, they
Just
would
one of that
actually
bathroom
attack
over
you.
there. This place has just been turned around as if someone came with a big digger loader and just crushed and destroyed everything. Fucking hell.
I have a friend, his parents live in Iraq, and they were living in Germany, but they said they like it more in Iraq. It's just heritage, right?
Check it out. You can buy different types of radiant spices.
Oh wow.
Honey.
That must smell good.
Dates. Different sweets. Wow, what a place. It's vibrant.
Yeah.
Look at this. It feels so uneasy filming around here because you never know. Oh, hey. Well, so far so good. You just never know how the people receive you, right? Check it out. Salam. Check this place out. Get headscarves. Wow. Let's see if we can find the food section. Right, we seem to be leaving the markets. I believe in front of me is some food, which I need urgently. Oh wow. There's the old bridge. Can we go there? Let's see. Get some food. Gonna try some kebab.
The last video I watched of him, he was in some Asian country. They were having like a wedding. He took their money and left. He didn't know. He thought it was a present for him. I pissed my pants, dude. And the comments, people in the comments were like, they're dying. It was so fun.
How are you? You good? Wow. Beef? Beef?
Kebab. Debo, gehen wir Kebab essen.
Shukran, Habibi. Nice. Nice, with the hands. Hey, hello. I'm from Germany. Germany? Yes, and you? Well, we made it to the old bridge.
Yes,
the old city
you.
of Mosul with the new. And dividing it, the Tigris River. As you can see in the distance, it's completely destroyed.
Ich mache mir gleich Essen nach dem Video.
Walaikum salam. كيف حالك؟ شلونك؟ ألمانيا. كيفك؟ الحمد لله. عافيتك. Okay. Kebab's not too bad either. I just don't know how safe it is.
Gehen wir Irak, Debo. Kebab in Irak essen.
Good. Okay. Masalama.
Mich kriegst du halt niemals in so eine Moslem-Gegend. Ne? Ich hätte viel zu viel Schiss so.
The newer part of the city. I don't think it's too new, but it's.
Die sind mir alle viel zu radikal. Ich bin voll rassistisch.
Ah, yes.
Der ist Deutscher, ja.
Masjid. A month? How much?
Kennst du den? Der war überall.
Ja. This way.
Guck mal, der Fahrer ist 11 Jahre alt oder so. Guck mal, wie jung der ist.
شو اسمه؟ ستار. ستار؟ أنا اسمي كورت. أنا راسي. Okay. Oh wow.
Oh stimmt, du als Weibchen geht da gar nichts dort. Als Weib, du kannst vergessen.
Yes. Oh. Oh, wow.
Du musst im Hotel bleiben, sorry. Am Airport.
No idea where we are. We're going to an iconic mosque that was destroyed. Saddam Hussein. Yes, yes. Yes. Saddam Hussein good. Saddam Hussein good.
He doesn't understand.
You leaving me to my beheading? Yeah, I don't know where this guy's taking me. This is getting fishy.
He's making a joke, but he's not
I don't know
joking.
how safe this place is. What the people think of. Okay, let's see. You know what? The majority of the people feel about foreigners, yeah? This is what Saddam is his wallpaper. Saddam. A lot of people here like him still. Kurd cats. YouTube. YouTube there? Well, we're back where we started. Welcome to Mosul! Yalla! ثلاثة تمام؟ تمام شكرا حبيبي مع السلامة سلامة Oh, okay.
A little kiss.
Okay.
ايمتى تشوفوا؟
تمام. يوتيوب.
ايمتى تشوفوا؟
كوركاز. تمام. Well, put a kiss on the cheek there.
A little kiss.
Well, very important mosque behind me. A symbol of the city. It was built by the man with the epic moustache, Saddam Hussein, and then taken over by ISIS, and finally destroyed during the war. And now they're rebuilding it, which is very good.
That looks epic though.
In front of you, the X 5-star luxury hotel, the Nineveh International Hotel, which was taken over by you-know-who. They placed their flags there. I've been given quick access to the entrance here, but I can't go inside. Because
So he cannot say you-know-who. Now I'm afraid to say you-know-who. It's ISIS, you know who I'm talking about?
Terrorist hotel. And this is where the elite would come and stay. It was the best hotel in the city back in the days. Welcome to the tourist village of Mosul. Yay! Guys, we found a VIP theme park over there. So let's go see if it's open. You know me, I hate roller coasters, but you can't end the day off a better way. A little bit of adrenaline. Well, I think we found the entrance to the theme park. Salam, Habibi. Zain? This? Good. This one there? Tamam? Zain? Okay.
What happened?
I want to go roller coaster.
You speak English?
Yes.
What?
Roller coaster.
Coaster?
Yeah.
School.
School?
School.
School?
He's so good at just avoiding the conversation by now.
To come into the theme park, yeah? How much, bro? How much?
Oh, they have a whole theme park going.
Come on, yeah? Ticket.
صور.
Okay. صور. So these are our tickets. Cost me 3,000 Iraqi dinar. It means I get 3 rides with this. Question is, which ride do we go on first? Quayas ride. Which one? Quayas ride. Good ride. Which one? This? Okay. All right. You're getting a tour of the theme park, yeah? By Yusuf. Tickets. Okay. You're good? Fine? Yes. All right. Oh. Salam. Where do I sit? Yeah? Oh, there. There's no safety seatbelt or anything. No seatbelt? Okay.
I think somebody is at my door.
Right, this is terrifying. No seatbelts. Right, at least I'm not the only one on this ride. So I guess it's safe. I think I got put in front of the line. Everybody else is filling up. Jesus Christ, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit nervous. Never put a seatbelt on. I don't know how safe this is. So it can't be more dangerous than a Venezuelan thing. Oh wait, it probably can be. It probably can. Let's go. Everybody's rushing to get into the ride now. Okay. Oh man, this is legit. Almania.
شنو حسابك بالتيك توك؟
تمام.
يوتيوب
YouTube.
شنو اسمك؟
Yes. أنا كوركاز.
هذا؟
Whoa. Getting sworn here by these guys.
اسمع.
Kurt.
باليوتيوب شنو اسمك؟
Kurt.
ما تلمس كرت.
I don't know how safe it is.
طلعنا. حسابك.
What is going on?
If this is a good idea that this ride is so packed.
What is happening?
No,
America.
What on earth is going on? Is this even a ride? I don't know what's happening.
Look at this guy in a suit.
let's go.
I love you. I love you.
You love me? Okay.
I love you.
Almania.
You Real Madrid?
Bayern Munich.
Real Madrid.
Bayern Munich. Whoa, we're taking off. Okay, let's go. This is crazy. Oh, no. This is how you do theme parks in Iraq. Zero safety standards. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, sit down. Okay.
They have zero safety.
Jesus Christ. So apparently, the theme park over there is close to one of the rides falling and everybody dying. So this is the only one that's open. And it's, yeah, I don't know how safe it is. It's just like the capacity. Oh, fuck. Oh, geez, shit. Okay. Okay, they can stop now. It'll be nice. Okay, thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go. Again. Okay.
Again.
Okay. Almania. شكرا حبيبي. Get me my ticket back. Nice. We're going again. Round 2. Number 1.
What are they doing? They're just going back and forth a little bit. They don't have anything, so this is a lot. It's so crazy.
Wow, that was by far the craziest roller coaster ride I've ever taken in my life. I'm getting escorted by one of the staff here. Just skip lines. Let's go on the next one. Okay, let's go. It must be like some children's holiday or something. Okay, come on. Bye-bye, bro. That was absolute madness. What do you guys think of that? Shukran, bro. Yusuf. Here? Almania. Almania. How are you, my friend? كيف حالك؟
اهلا
شو اسمك؟ Father.
Yes.
Father. مطعم؟ مطعم ابو ايوب. مطعم زين؟ اوكي شكرا. كل المطعم. اوكي. شاورما بيتزا. Arm wrestle. Okay. Quick arm wrestle. واحد اثنين ثلاثة. Let's go.
The fuck was this?
صاحب المكان ابو ايوب.
اوكي باص.
ابو ايوب.
باص.
ابو ايوب.
تمام. كيف حالك؟ Here, sitting? مطعم?
ايه مطعم.
Okay. What do you have? Shawarma?
شاورما بيتزا.
Shawarma, pizza?
برجر وبرجر.
Pizza.
Pizza?
Fresh pizza out the oven.
Oh, that looks good, dude.
Nice. No more kebabs, huh? Yeah, cuts? Yeah? Fresh pizza. I had the option between pizza and kebab and hamburger. I chose pizza. Can't eat any more kebabs. I've got kebabs coming out of my ears. Right, so, got some VIP pizza here. Check it out. Oh man, I'm starving. Thank God, some white man food. I can't eat any more kebabs. This is good. Wow, yeah. Very nice. So, I'm not sure if we're going to take any rides. I think they're closing. And I don't see any other visitors taking the ride, so maybe that would have been our last ride. I'm not sure. All the kids are going home. Oh. This is some VIP pizza. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. Maize, corn, mincemeat, green pepper, cheese, and the pizza. Very good. Yes. And a Pepsi. Shisha time. شو اسمها؟
نرجيلة.
نرجيلة.
ايه. عافية. ورايا.
Well guys, judging by the looks of things, seems as if the theme park is closing, fine and new. So, that means we're gonna get out of here. Could only take one ride, and that's okay. I think that's enough for today. Even though I bought 3 tickets. It's fine. Let's carry on. Enough theme roller coasters for today. I'm exhausted. Let's go home. Masalama. Baby. Hotel. Tamam. Masalama. Okay. Okay. Sleep here?
Hotel.
Yes.
Restaurant.
Okay. تمام. هي خلاص؟ خلاص. تمام. بكرة. تمام. حبيبي. مع السلامة.
He said go sleep and then tomorrow come back
we can end this
again.
video over here. So, good night. Leila Saida.
That was fun to watch, man. That is crazy, dude. The difference. Wow. They have nothing, man. That's so sick. Again, everywhere that you see a place like this, it's like third world, fourth world, and then they have cell phones. Imagine what does this do to your head? You see TikTok and Instagram, all these rich and famous people, how they're living. You're going crazy. You're gonna do crazy things to get out of this shithole. Man, that puts things in perspective, dude. They're rocking the boat a little bit back and forth and going crazy. Oh, bless their soul, dude. Okay, I'm gonna put some chicken in the air fryer. Yeah. It's been a good year for sure that I have watched a clip by Andrew Huberman. Should we give him a shot? All his topics have become so mainstream. I'm all the way past them already. But this one seems interesting. The science of emotions and relationships. Should we give it a shot?
Welcome to Huberman Lab Essentials.
Good
where we
morning!
revisit My name is Andrew Huberman.
Alright, just let me do the thing quick. I'm gonna have to set a timer. Man, I'm so depressed. This is some bullshit, dude. I swear. Oh god. Fix me something, please. I got new medication today. As if I'm like always on medication, no, but really. From my neurologist for the pain in my neck. And apparently it is also used in psychopharmacy. And it is tinkering with your GABA receptor. So it is supposed to increase mood. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. But also it makes me very sleepy. I already took a pill. I do feel it a little bit. But I'm going to feel the full effect in like 2 weeks. And this is very low dose. And then we will see how much I can tolerate and stuff. Let's see what's going to happen. This is the first time I'm taking anything of this sort. Also, my doctor, she was sick. Like she had a mask on and everything. But she likes me so much, that's why she had to come close to me and shake my hand and everything. And I go like, oh, okay. I think I touched my face afterwards. So I might become sick as well. But daily I'm taking vitamin C and multivitamin. If that shit doesn't work, I swear. Today was really bad. It's so unfair, dude. And whatever I talk about, my phone is listening. And then when in the morning I shit and I look at my phone, I read all the fucking, like, you know, like it is, my phone is listening to me, so it provides me like commercials and all kinds of posts and memes about what I'm talking about. It is so creepy. But it's all like heartbreak, and I'm reading all these texts and I'm getting triggered left and right. It's so crazy, dude. Because I'm not looking for it myself. It's just listening to me. The phone is just listening. Sometimes I have the feeling I'm not even talking about it. I'm just thinking about it and it's picking up on my thoughts, dude. I'm so paranoid with this, but honestly, I swear to God, it actually is reading my thoughts. Because I also had like phases where I would actually observe and see, okay, so now I'm talking about it. I know it's gonna show me, right? And then there would be some days or weeks where I would just think about it, and I would think like, if I say something now about whatever I'm thinking about, it's gonna show, but I'm not gonna do it. And then still, I get a commercial or posts or memes or whatever shown about what I'm thinking, right? It's so crazy, dude. Technology. I don't mind it. Like, I don't mind people gathering information about my consuming and targeting ads. I like targeted ads because it's better than bullshit ads. You know, for me, it doesn't matter if a company knows what I'm buying or stuff. What are they gonna do with it? They can't do anything with it. I don't care. But so triggering, man. And now Valentine's Day is coming up. And I'm just getting triggered all fucking day. There was a text I read today. I almost cry. Oh, that's gonna take a long fucking time. It's gonna take a long time, dude. At least I'm starting to think about extra work. Small steps, little goals. I feel so disabled. They say time heals all wounds. Maybe next year. Alright, let's watch The Science of Emotions and Relationships by Huberman Lab Essentials. Andrew Huberman. So I haven't watched a video of his at least 2 years ago or something. Because all his stuff went mainstream and very superficial. I'm not faulting him or blaming him. That's how you get the viewers. So let's see what he has here, because this one is quite relevant to my interest.
And I'm a professor of neurobiology and ophthalmology at Stanford School of Medicine. So let's talk about emotions. Emotions are a fascinating and vital aspect of our life experience. It's fair to say that emotions make up most of what we think of as our experience of life. Even the things we do, our behaviors, and the places we go, and the people we end up encountering in our life, all of that really funnels into our emotional perception of what those things mean, whether or not they made us happy or sad or depressed or lonely or were awe-inspiring. Now, one thing that is absolutely true is that everyone's perception of emotion is slightly different, meaning your idea of happy is very likely different than my idea of what a state of happiness is. And we know this also for color vision, for instance. Even though the cells in your eye and my eye that perceive the color red are identical right down to the genes that they express, we can be certain, based on experimental evidence, what are called psychophysical studies, that your idea of the most intense red is going to be very different than my idea of the most intense red if we were given a selection of 10 different reds and asked which one is most intense, which one looks most red. And that seems crazy. You would think that something as simple as color would be universal, and yet it's not. And so we need to agree at the outset that emotions are complicated, and yet they are tractable. They can be understood. And today we're going to talk about a lot of tools to understand what emotions are, for you to understand what your emotional states mean and what they don't mean. And in doing that, that will allow you to place value on whether or not you should hold an emotional state as true or not true, whether or not it has meaning or it doesn't, as well as whether or not the emotions of others are important to you in a given context. We're going to talk a lot about development. In fact, we're going to center a lot of our discussion today around infancy and puberty. We're also going to talk about tools for enhancing one's emotional range and for navigating difficult emotional situations. I'm not a clinical psychologist. I'm not a therapist, but I do have some background in psychology. And
can we reduce
today
my
I'm going
emotions,
to be drawing
please?
from the psychology greats, not me, but from the greats of psychology who studied emotion, who studied emotional
I got too much
development,
estrogen,
and
dude. I'm a
linking
woman.
that to the neuroscience of emotion, because nowadays we understand a lot about the chemicals and the hormones and the neural circuits in the brain and body that underlie emotion. So while there's no one single universally true theory of emotion, at the intersection of many of the existing theories, there are really some ground truths. If we want to understand emotions, we have to look at where emotions first develop. And the rule that every good neuroanatomist knows is that if you want to understand what a part of the brain does, you have to address two questions. You have to know what connections does that brain area make, and you need to know what's called the developmental origin of that structure, and what are the brain areas for emotion. And nowadays there's a lot of debate about this. For years it was thought that there might be circuits, meaning connections in the brain that generate the feeling of being happy, or circuits that generate the feeling of being sad, etc. That's been challenged. And yet I think there's good evidence for circuits in the brain, such as limbic circuits and other circuits, that shift our overall states, or our overall level of alertness or calmness, or whether or not they bias us toward viewing the outside world or paying more attention to what's going on inside our bodies. But the important thing to understand is that emotions do arise in the brain and body. And if we want to understand how emotions work, we have to look how emotions are built. And they are built during infancy, adolescence, and puberty. And then it continues into adulthood. But the groundwork is laid down early in development when we are small children. You were born into this world without really any understanding of the things around you. Now, there are two ways that you can interact with the world, and you're always doing them more or less to some degree at the same time. Those are interoception, paying attention to what's going on inside you, what you feel internally, and exteroception, paying attention to what's going on outside you. Hold that in mind, please, because the fact that you're both interocepting and exterocepting is true for your entire life, and it sets the foundation for understanding emotions. It's absolutely critical. As an infant, you didn't have any knowledge of what you needed. You didn't understand hunger. You didn't understand cold or heat or any of that. When you needed something, you experienced that as anxiety. You would feel an increase in alertness if you had to use the bathroom. You would feel an increase in alertness if you were hungry. And you would vocalize. You would cry out. You would act agitated. You might coo. You might do a number of different things. And then your caregiver, whoever that might have been, would respond to that. So this is actually really important to understand that a baby, when you were a baby and when I was a baby, we didn't have any sense of the outside world except that it responded to our acts of anxiety, essentially. All developmental psychologists agree that babies lack the ability to make cognitive sense of the outside world. But in this feeling of anxiety and registering one's own internal state and then crying out to the outside world, either through crying or subtle vocalizations or even just cooing, making some noise, we start to develop a relationship with the outside world in which our internal states, our shifts in anxiety, start to drive requests, and people come and respond to those requests.
I guess there's gonna be another break because I'm gonna have to put potatoes. Ready.
And this gets to the basis of what emotions are about, which are emotions are really about forming bonds and being able to predict things in the world. And at this point, I actually just want to pause and mention a really interesting tool that is trying to address this question of what are emotions and what do they consist of, that you can use if you like. This is an app. I didn't develop it. I don't have any relationship to them, but the app was developed by people at Yale, and it's called Mood Meter. What they're trying to do is put more nuance, more subtlety on our words and our language for emotions and be able to allow you to predict how you're going to feel in the future. I'm on the app right now, and I know you can't see this, but it's called Mood Meter. You know, it says to me, "Hi, Andrew, how are you right now?" And I click the little tab that says "I feel," and I can either pick high energy and unpleasant, high energy, pleasant, low energy, unpleasant, or low energy, pleasant. And I would say right now, I feel high energy, pleasant. So I just revealed to you how I feel. So I click on that, and then it gives you a gallery of colors, and you just move your finger to the location where you think it matches most. And as you do that, little words pop up. So say motivated, cheerful, inspired. I would say I'm feeling right now cheerful. So you click that, and then you just go to the next window, and it just says, "What are you doing?" And this feels like play to me, but I'm going to call it work. And then that's it. And then what it does is it basically starts to collect data on you. You're giving it information, and it starts to link that to other features that you allow it access to if you like. And it starts helping you be able to predict how you're going to feel at different times a day. And it points to a couple really interesting features, which is that we don't really have enough language to describe all the emotional states. And yet there's some core truths to what makes up an emotion. This can really help people, kids and adults, understand better what they're feeling and why, and when best to engage in certain activities, and thankfully, when best to avoid certain activities too. So the way this works is the following. You need to ask yourself at any point, you could do this right now if you like, what's your level of autonomic arousal? Autonomic arousal is just the continuum, the range of alert to calm. So if you're in a panic right now, you are like 10 out of 10 on the arousal scale. If you're asleep, you're probably not comprehending what I'm saying, although maybe a little bit. But let's say you're very drowsy, you might be at a 1 or a 2. And then there's this other axis, this other question, which is what we call valence. Now, valence is a value. Do you feel good or bad? I would say I feel pretty good right now. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like I feel like a 7. So I'm alert and I feel pretty good. And then there's a third thing, which is how much we are interocepting and how much we are exterocepting. All right. So how much our attention is focused internally on what we're feeling and how much it's focused externally. And this is always going to be in a dynamic balance. So, for instance, if you're really, really stressed, oftentimes that puts you in a position to be really in touch with what's going on in your body. If you start having a lot of somatic, a lot of bodily sensations, like your heart is beating so fast that you can't ignore it, then you're really strongly interoceptive. So there's 3 things: how alert or sleepy you are, that's 1, how good or bad you feel, that's 2, and then whether or not most of your attention is directed outward or whether or not it's directed inward. And much of what we call emotions are made up by those 3 things. Let's return to the infant. There's the baby in the crib. It's mostly...
Hold on. He's talking about an app called Mood Meter. I can't find Mood Meter, but there's a bunch of other stuff. Mood pattern. Thank you for the app. It's really great to make a journal of emotion. This video came out like 6 hours ago. The comment is 4 hours ago. People have found the app, but I can't find it. Can someone link the proper Mood Meter app that was developed by the people of Yale? I believe the app is called How We Feel. I can't find this Mood Meter app is in Google Play. Mood Meter. Prayer, meditation. Okay, I found the How We Feel. I'm gonna download the How We Feel app.
Interocepting. As caregivers bring it what it needs, you hope, milk, diaper changes, etc., a warm blanket if it's cold, pull off the blanket when the baby's fussing and it's too warm, because babies get too warm also, it starts to exterocept. The baby starts to look into the outside world and start making predictions. It starts wondering how much it needs to cry, or predicting, well, if I cry like a little bit, then mom comes over and I get my milk. Babies are starting to evaluate and do all this, but they're not doing it consciously. They're doing this in order to relieve anxiety. As a young creature, an infant and young toddler, you were mainly focused inward, and you started to understand what was going on outward as a way of predicting what would bring you relief, what would remove your anxiety. And that's where the fundamental rules of your experience, your emotional experience, were laid down. So now let's talk about what kind of baby you were, because that actually informs your emotionality now. These are classic, they're actually famous experiments done by Bowlby and Ainsworth. This is this classic experiment of what was called the strange situation task, in which, and I'm describing it very coarsely here, I realize, but a mother and child come into the laboratory. The baby and the mother or father play together for a bit, and then the mother leaves. The mother leaves for some period of time and then comes back. And the research is devoted to understanding the response of the child when the caretaker, the mother or the father, returns. Bowlby and Ainsworth, and many of their scientific offspring and colleagues, identified at least 4.
He's talking about attachment styles, and Bowlby was the guy that figured out attachment styles. So I know what he's talking about. He's talking about there was more people. Let's see.
4 patterns that babies display when their caretaker returns. And they group these into group A, B, C, D. So much so that the kids were referred to as A babies, B babies, C babies, or D babies. The first babies are the A babies. When their caretaker would return, the infant would respond with happiness, with what looked like delight. They would go to the caretaker, they seemed happy. These are referred to as secure attached kids. The B babies, as they're called, were less likely to seek comfort from their caregiver when the caregiver would return. So they would sometimes continue to play with their toys, or they would be with they had an adult in the room while the parent was gone.
I know
They would
this,
stay
so
with
I can
them.
leave.
These
and
were
go to
referred
the
to as
kitchen
avoidant babies.
and put in the
C babies would respond
potatoes.
to the
I'm an
return of the
avoidant, by the
caregiver
way.
with acts of annoyance. They seemed kind of angry. And those were referred to as ambivalent babies. And then the third category, the D babies, were the disorganized babies. The child avoided interactions with everyone, and their behavior didn't really change whether or not the caregiver was there or not. This work, this classic work, opened up a huge set of important questions that relate to what is the reestablishment of the bond really about? I mean, what's actually being figured out here is not whether or not there are 4 categories of babies. That's interesting. But it presumably is more interesting to focus on what is it that defines a really good bond, a secure attachment or an insecure attachment or an avoidant attachment. And the 4 things are gaze, literally eye contact, vocalizations, so what we say and how we say it, affect or emotion, so the way that we express, crying, smiling, etc., and touch. But gaze, vocalization, affect, and touch are really the core of this thing that we call social bonds and emotionality. And it's clear from most all of the theories of emotional health that an ability to recognize when your own internal state is being driven primarily by external events as important for being able to emotionally regulate, right? People who are constantly being yanked around by the external happenings in the world, you would say are emotionally labile. They are not in control of their emotions. Even if they're calm all the time, if that calmness only arrives because they're in a placid environment and then you put, a cracker in that environment and they freak out, well, then they're not really calm. So how much the outside environment disrupts your internal environment has everything to do with this balance of interoception and exteroception. And it very likely has roots in whether or not you were secure attached or insecure attached, disorganized or ambivalent as a baby. So while we can't travel back in time, there is an exercise that you can do to address, at least in this moment, whether or not you have a bias for exteroception or a bias for interoception. If you close your eyes right
I'm gonna link a video that I did about like half a year ago, where I talk about attachment styles, and I'm going about my own attachment style and comparing myself from 15 years ago with myself today. It's like a 1.5, a little bit more hour-long video. I think it's very interesting. If you have never heard about it and you want to get into it, very, very interesting stuff.
now and concentrate on the contact of any portion of your body and trying to bring as much of your attention to that point of contact as possible. And then from there, you're going to move your attention even more deeply into, say, the sensation of what's going on in your gut. Are you full? Are you empty? Are you hungry? Are you not? Is your heart beating? At what rate? What's the cadence of your breathing? Basically bringing your focus and attention to everything at the surface of your skin and inward. So I'm going to do a rare thing on the Huberman Lab podcast. I'm going to introduce about 5 to 8 seconds of silence in order to allow you to do that a little bit. Now try and do something that for most people actually is a little bit harder, which is to purely exterocept. Put your eyes or your ears or both on anything in your immediate space. I would say look across the room, pick a panel on the wall or a leg of a table or something, and try and bring as much of your attention to that as possible. And again,
Looking at my plant.
Take about 5 seconds of silence to allow you to exterocept. Okay, so what you probably found is that you're able to do that, but that some degree of interoception is maintained. It's hard to place 100% of your attention on something externally unless it's really exciting, really novel. If you've ever watched a really great movie, presumably you're exterocepting more than you're interocepting until something exciting happens, and then you feel something. You're actually tethering your emotional experience to something external.
Okay.
And now you can also do this dynamically. You can decide to focus internally and then externally. You can decide to split it 50%, or 70-30. You can develop a heightened ability to do this. And the power of doing that is actually that when you are in environments where you feel like you're focused too much internally and you'd like to be focused more externally, you can actually do that deliberately. But as you notice, it takes work. These exercises are really what are at the core of these development of emotional bonds, because as we mentioned before, these 4 things, the gaze, vocalization, touch, and affect, those are happening very dynamically. So if somebody winks at you, you're paying attention to their wink, but then you also notice how you feel. This is very dynamic. So if it seems overwhelming to try and interocept and exterocept and then shift the balance, you do that all the time. Your brain and nervous system are fantastic at doing this. Now, some people have a very hard time breaking out of a very strongly interoceptive mode. Some people have a harder time breaking out of their exteroceptive mode. It's very interesting to note the extent to which we have biases in how interoceptive or exteroceptive we are. Remember those 3 axes that we talked about earlier. You have valence, good or bad. You have alertness, alert or calm, and you have interoceptive or exteroceptive bias. Early in development, you start off with this interoceptive bias. You are starting to develop expectations, predictions about how the outside world is going to work, and you are trying to figure out the reliability of outside events and people. And where things are reliable, when people are reliable, we are able to give up more of our interoception. There's literally trust that our interoceptive needs, our internal needs, will be met through bonds and actions of others. And this starts to veer toward the discussion about neglect and trauma. We are going to devote entire episodes, probably an entire month, to trauma and PTSD, but those have roots in what we're talking about now. And it's important to internalize and understand what we're talking about now in order to get the most out of those future conversations. So now I want to just pause, just shelve the discussion about interoception, exteroception for a moment, and I want to talk about what is arguably the second most, if not equally important, aspect of your development as it relates to emotionality and as it relates to this, what I call trust, but this ability to predict whether or not things in the outside world are reliable or not reliable in terms of their ability to help you meet your interoceptive needs. And that period is puberty. So up until now, we've been talking mainly about psychology, not a lot of biology, not a lot of mechanism. And now we're going to transition into talking about mechanism, hormones, receptors, etc. Puberty is a absolute biological event. It has a beginning and it has a specific definition, which is the transition into reproductive maturity. So there are a lot of hormonal changes. Yes, there are also a lot of brain changes. And most people don't realize it, but the brain changes occur first. The brain turns on the hormone systems that allow puberty to occur. One of the more interesting molecules that triggers puberty in all individuals is something called kisspeptin, Kisspeptin. Kisspeptin. Kisspeptin is made by the brain, and it stimulates large amounts of a different hormone called GnRH, gonadotropin-releasing hormone, to be released. Gonadotropin-releasing hormone then causes the release of another hormone called luteinizing hormone, or LH, which travels in the bloodstream and stimulates the ovaries of females to produce estrogen and the testes of males to produce testosterone. Now, this is interesting because at this point, the testes in males start churning out tons of testosterone in order to trigger the development of secondary sexual characteristics, body hair and all the others, deepening of voice, etc. And in females, estrogen is doing various other things, breast development, etc. So that's how puberty happens at the biological level, gets triggered by leptin and kisspeptin, and then this young child is now a different creature to some extent, not just because they're reproductively competent, of course, but because there's a shift in a number of the things that underlie these social bonds. There's a marked shift in a number of the things that allow children and adults to engage in predictive behavior about each other. And most of what consumes the minds and waking hours of adolescents and children who have gone through puberty and going through puberty is questions about how they relate to social structures, who they can rely on, and how they can make reliable predictions in the world now that they have more agency, that they are physically changed. In fact, you could argue that puberty is the fastest rate of maturation that you'll go through at any point in your life. It's the largest change that you'll go through at any point in your life in terms of who you are, because your biology is fundamentally changed at the level of your brain and your bodily organs, all your organs, from the skin inward.
Yeah, I'm 35, I'm still changing.
A little bit of the research about some of the core needs that occur during puberty and adolescence. So there's a terrific review article that was published in the journal Nature about the biology of adolescence and puberty, as well as some of the core needs and demands that have to be met for successful emotional maturation during that time. We will provide a link to that, but I just want to highlight a few of the things that they place in the final table. I don't want to go through all the results right now because you could do that on your own if you like. They mainly highlight a lot of the changes in neurons and neural circuits. For instance, I'll just highlight one. There's a connection between the dopamine centers in the brain and an area of the brain that's involved in emotion and dispersal. Dispersal is very interesting. What you observe in animals and humans is that around the end of adolescence and during the transition to puberty, both because of changes in the brain and changes in hormones, there's an intense desire on the part of the child to get further and further away from primary caregivers. Mostly there's a desire to start spending more time with friends, more time with peers, and less time with adults. So there's something about these hormones that don't just allow sexual reproduction. They don't just change the brain and bodily organs and the shape of us. They also bias us towards dispersal, getting further and further away from primary caregivers in particular. And what's interesting is during puberty, there's increased connectivity, as we call it, between the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in motivation and decision making, being able to suppress action for making long-term goals possible, as well as dopamine centers, and the amygdala. So there's this really broad integration and testing. I think this is the key element here, testing of circuits for emotions and reward as they relate to decisions. And I think that's useful because when you look at the behavior of adolescents and teens, they are testing social interactions. They are testing physical interactions with the world. Oftentimes they're engaging in unsafe behavior. And you can't I would never try and justify that with the underlying neurology. But the neuroscience points to increased connectivity between areas of the brain that are related to emotionality and to threat detection, like the amygdala, but also reward. So it's a time of testing behaviorally how different behaviors lead to success or not. It's how different behaviors lead to fear states or not. You can start to map the neurology onto some of this emotional exploration. I do realize that this episode is about emotions. Puberty is a time in which the internal state of the person or the animal is being sampled and tested against different exteroceptive events, only now they are able to guide those events with more agency. The child or the adolescent is now able, the teen really, is able to now sample many, many more exteroceptive events through behavior. And so adolescence and puberty is really seen as the period of development in which one self-samples for these two elements that we talked about at the beginning, which are how do I form bonds and how do I make predictions about what will make me feel good at a level of interoception. But
that is how I got the curve. Because I was exposed to all of this madness of growing up. Mostly by myself, but I was also with peers. Yeah, we were all high as fuck all the time, but still like-minded people trying to look for something, having the sense of togetherness. Right. And because I was physically challenging myself in all aspects. Looking for fights, whatever. That's interesting. Yeah. I feel like if I didn't have it the way I had it, I could have went an even worse path. A more self-destructive path. That is where, what's to say? That is where you got the division. Where you spread the hay from the field, right? And I feel like it's different for males and women. And easier for males to it's wrong, they said. It's not easier. It is just more, man, how do I say this? Because our world, our external world, I think is more built for the man to prove himself. And less for the woman, because they are meant to be, you know, taken care of, this and that. And the man, like, yeah, there's the door. You will find your way. Hold on a sec. I think that was a critical phase, of course. Besides infant phase, what else will be the critical phase besides, or rather, but your puberty, right? If I had another set of people around me, I think that would be like the second, basically like forging of my character. Could have went very wrong. So you have the first stage you come out of, your cocoon, your little cocoon. You get into the puberty, whatever kind of foundation you got laid by your parents. And therefore you're gonna be interacting with people like-minded, whatever you're gonna interact with, because that's what you think is gonna be right. And then the real cocoon begins. Now it's very critical of what kind of people you're surrounding yourself with. I think I had, for a long time, very, very wrong friends. Definitely wrong behaviors, right? Definitely indulging in drugs, alcohol, weed. For a long time. And if you just look at the brain development during that time, there is no way that could have been any supportive, any good, in any reason, in any sense, for my development. But just from the social aspect, it could have been better, let's say like this. And then very early, I noticed it, and I just went my own path. I understand that I was better off myself. I think realizing that was saving myself, big time. I'm very happy about that. I'm actually, that was the only way. Because I noticed that early, I realized it early, and I took action. Yeah.
But in terms of the biology, it's clear that there's this stage of development where more autonomy, more physical capability is triggered by these hormone changes in the brain and these peptide changes in the brain and body. And
just the physical capability is what I was getting on for as a man, right?
That nonetheless brings us back to the exact same model that we started with in infancy of alert or calm, feel good or feel bad, primarily exterocepting, primarily interocepting. So
That's
I
what
keep
I mean.
going back to this. I'm sort of like a repeating record on that.
Yes, you have the infancy and then you have the puberty.
The same core algorithm, the same core function is at play throughout the lifespan. And that's a useful framework, in my opinion, because it allows you to sort through all the data and information that's out there about, well, this area, the stria terminalis is active, or the basolateral amygdala is active,
I think I have a good
matter
understanding of
thickening, or
myself.
this hormone or that hormone, and return to a kind of kernel of certainly not exhaustive truth. It doesn't cover all aspects of emotionality, but at least establishes some groundwork from which you can start to evaluate how different behaviors might or might not make sense, how certain emotional responses might or might not make sense, regardless of the age of the person or the organism. There's a theory of emotional development that I find particularly interesting, which is from Alan Shore at UCLA, that talks about how most of our testing of bonds and relationships is the seesawing back and forth between very dopaminergic, so driven by dopamine, or serotonergic, driven by serotonin states. And this starts with infant and mother, or infant and father,